It's Christmas. You wouldn't believe it. It's the festive time of the year. I'm David Eaton. Hello. We've got on the line Paul Robinson and Neil Mellor. We're preparing for Christmas. We're talking through this festive period. And I just wanted to know what it's like for you. What was it like for you guys playing at this time of year? We all know you go without your Christmas dinner, or do you? Paul, what's it like preparing for so many games in a row, but also not being able to be around your family and being on away trips and just playing so much football at this time of year?
Depends what manager you're playing for and what his outlook on family life and training and when he wants you in is. Certain managers on Christmas Day would have you in the morning, some would have you in on the night, some would have you in on the night time, 3-4 o'clock, and then you go straight to a hotel to prepare for an away game. Some would have you in at 7-8 o'clock in the morning, get done, get back home for the family. But because the Christmas period is so busy, you always play Boxing Day or the day after. So Christmas Day has always been a day of work. The hardest part is when you get to a hotel Christmas Day night and the door shuts behind you, because you all room alone now, because everyone's got their own little habits and quirks. Nobody rooms together anymore. You get a room on your own. And when you go away Christmas night and you're in that hotel room, to be fair though, it depends how many and what type of family you've got around. Sometimes it's quite nice.
Sometimes you can get away from it, Neil. But it's the games here and there, and it's all down to the fixture list, I suppose, and the fixture computer being friendly to you. Could you get a chance to stick around with family on the big day?
Yeah, players understand, don't they? That's all players have known, that this is a busy time. What I would say is when the fixtures are announced, I would always look for a home game, because I didn't want the away game, although football changed in terms of staying in hotels even for home games. I remember I got my only ever fine for Liverpool, and it was on Christmas Day. We had a home game against Blackburn Rovers the next day at Anfield, and we'd train in the morning, 10 for 10:30, no different, absolutely no different in terms of the schedule. It would all be the same. Then you'd meet up about 5 o'clock at the hotel, so you could go and spend Christmas Day with your family. I didn't have kids at that time, so I'd gone to spend Christmas dinner, which was fine. Obviously, portion size is different, and then at the hotel, you'd have your evening meal, which was very little because it was Christmas, and then you go for a walk. So we've gone for this walk, which we do every evening before the game. I forgot my coat, and it was a £50 fine. Joe Corrigan, obviously, you know Joe Corrigan, ex-great goalkeeper himself, he fined me on Christmas Day, 50 quid. I said, it's Christmas. He went, I don't care. 50 quid, you've not got your coat. So that was the only ever time I got fined for Liverpool on Christmas Day. I didn't have my coat for a little 10-minute walk. That's all it was. But yeah, hotels are an absolute norm for players. Home games, away games, unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Is that just because you might get a cold? You're not looking after yourself?
It was Baltic, but
have you ever seen anyone, Paul? Have you ever seen the odd stray yellow card in a game before Christmas? You think, hold on, he's got himself Boxing Day off there.
Yeah, it's not talked about, but it does happen. I mean, that's one of the unwritten rules. None of the lads even, you can talk about you have a laugh in the dressing room, but nobody would say they're intentionally going out to do it, and nobody would ever admit to it. You know, in the dressing room, you laugh about it, say, oh, you got booked, you got sent off just in time, and have a giggle about it. But if it did happen, it does happen. Nobody ever talks about it. That's very, very much their own personal thing. But 1,000,000% it's happened, and it does happen. It still happens now.
It's not like Neymar getting his sister's birthday party off every year, is it? He gets to go back to Brazil for that big party. So just as a pro, I mean, the great thing is about Christmas, and I suppose if neither have really played abroad, where you get the winter off and the winter break. Do you enjoy the football, Neil? Do you enjoy the fact that games keep coming?
Yeah, good, because it's traditional in this country. That's all I've ever known. I love football. I've watched it as a fan, as a kid growing up, and then fortunate to have played it. So yeah, it was an absolute buzz, and it's a cracking atmosphere. Boxing Day fixtures, attendances are always one of the biggest, and it's a different sort of atmosphere. So absolutely, it's an absolute buzz. And what you would say, the weather's a little bit temperamental. I've had the odd game called off, which is really frustrating around that time, because you just want to play. You want to enjoy that time. The games come thick and fast, and not ideal on the body. And obviously, players are more professional these days, so the drinking habits aren't there to maybe what they used to be. But love being involved in this time of year.
And 2 or 3 wins in quick succession, Paul, can change your season.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're almost in that. It's like the championship season, isn't it, at the moment of Christmas? All the games that come thick and fast, you get 3 games a week almost. You know, there's 9 points available in the space of 10 days, which, I mean, I like Neil. I love the Christmas period, and all these managers moaning about Boxing Day and Christmas. I love this time of year, and as players, you love this time of year. And don't for 1 minute feel sorry for footballers. Oh, we used to love it. You're getting paid to play football. You miss out on a couple of Christmas dinners. You miss out on a couple of Christmases with your family. Believe me, you get to 37, 38 and retire. I've had 6 Christmases at home, and I'd go back playing football tomorrow if I could.
I thought you said you've had six Christmas dinners already this year, but we're working towards that. We'll see how we can get on. That is, it's Paul and Neil talking about Christmas and footballers and how we really shouldn't feel sorry for them. Not that we ever really do.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. For the best live bets, this is Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Please gamble responsibly.
And a happy Christmas Eve to all of those out there celebrating. If you don't, hope you're having a good time anyway. But it is Christmas Eve, and we have Boxing Day football to come in a couple of days' time. We're off tomorrow for Christmas Day, but we're with you today for Christmas Eve because Wolves and Chelsea, they've pulled the short straw out of the hat to play on this Christmas Eve. We've got prices for this game. Wolves are 3.15, 3.7 the tie, 2.18 if you fancy Chelsea. And joining me, I'm going to play Santa Claus today, and my elf alongside me in the studio, it's Mark.
Good afternoon. Hope you're well, James. I've never been called an elf. I've been called a lot of things, but never an elf before. But
it could get worse as we go through.
It will do, no doubt.
How are you?
Mate, I'm good. I am good. Look, hey, what are we going to be doing today other than trying to watch some live sport? And we've got some great live sport, haven't we? So I'm looking forward to this. Chelsea, I would imagine less so looking forward to this because their away form has not been great.
No. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the teams before you start picking out your best bets of this one. We've got Wolves lining up with Sarr in goal, Totti, Dawson and Kilman are the back three with Nouri on the left and Semedo on the right. I mean, Gomez and Lamina in the midfield with Sarabia and Hwang, who's been in fantastic form of late, behind Cunha in their attack. And for Chelsea, Petrovic is in goal, Gusto, Disasi, Silva and Colwill are the back four. You've got Ogachukwu and Gallagher is their defensive midfield. Sterling, Palmer and Jackson behind Broja in attack. So they're the 2-11s, Mark. We've had the prices. I know, speaking ahead of coming on air, I think we both have got a little bit of a sniff towards Wolves, haven't we, today?
Yeah, look, I mean, you look at their overall form in recent weeks, and it hasn't really been that good, has it? Certainly only one win in their last 5. That came against Burnley. We know up until recently have been really struggling in the Premier League. But 3 of the losses that they've suffered in the last 5 have all been on the road. You look at their home form, Wolves, and it's solid. You know, three draws and 3 wins in their last 6. One of those wins was against Manchester City. They're tough to beat at home, and I think it's going to be their home form for Wolves that will keep them in the race. You look at Chelsea's away form. They've lost their last 3 away at Newcastle, at Manchester United and at Everton. And given the respective form that those 3, and I know Everton they've had a good run that ended yesterday, but Newcastle away to lose 4-1, Manchester United to lose 2-1, you know, a United team that are struggling. I'm not over enamoured by Chelsea. However, you say, what is my best bet? Well,
yes.
8 out of 9 Wolverhampton Wanderers home games has involved both teams to score.
Yes.
4 of the last 5 Chelsea away games has involved both teams to score.
So you don't fancy both teams to score? No.
I like both teams to score 1.71. I think that is the starting point. I am certainly erring on the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers.
That's where the compiler see it, isn't it? Because that price is 1.71, both teams score, would suggest the sportbet.io boffins fancy that as well. Over 2.5 goals in the match is 1.78, which again is the skinny side of even money. You have to go to over 3.5 goals in the match to get up to the price of 3. So I think that's how I would see it as well. I think we'll get goals today.
Yeah, I do. There's a bet I'm quite keen on, just on a numbers perspective and the price of it, and that's Wolves to score in both halves, yes, at 4.10. I just do not trust Chelsea defensively at all. And I think that's a very generous price, 4.10. So I'll be keen to play that as well. And
Hee-Chan Wang, by the way, he's 2.65 any time to score, and he's been in really good form.
Yeah, he's great value. He's been flying, hasn't he, at the minute? In terms of his goals that he's scored. He's got 8 in 15 starts in the league. Got 1 in the League Cup as well. So you look at him, he's got 9 in 16 starts. So that's pretty good numbers. And, you know, like you said, anything above 2, therefore, to me, represents a little bit of value. So I certainly would play him. I'd be looking down that route. On the other side of it, you know, Chelsea get a lot of stick, and Nicholas Jackson gets a lot of stick, but he's still their top scorer, isn't he, in the league with 7. But I think Cole Palmer will get a little bit of attention.
I like Cole Palmer.
Of all the money they've spent on all these foreign superstar footballers, it's a young kid they nicked from up the road at Man City that probably has been their best bit of business.
They've obviously said to him, if you come to us, we'll play you. Because you know, if you stay at Man City, you're going to be in and out. If you come to us, we're going to trust in you and play you. And he's repaying the faith, isn't he?
He is. He's having a wow of a start to life, if you like, as a full-time Premier League footballer. We know he had a little bit part, didn't he, with City? I would be looking towards him for any kind of pro-Chelsea bet if you want to go down that route.
I'm interested to see Christopher Nkunku. He's on the bench for Chelsea today. He's been injured since they brought him in. He's been injured. Did really well in his previous club. And he's kind of coming in now as almost like a new signing now because he's only just got himself fit. But he's on the bench there. I'm sure we'll see him at some stage. So be interesting to see how that goes. Wolves at the moment are on 19 points. Chelsea are on 22. So obviously Wolves can kind of bridge that gap with a win today. Chelsea in 10th as we start today's proceedings. There is a free bet available for you today. And because it is Christmas Eve, hello to Viv, by the way. Viv says hello. Because it's Christmas Eve, we're going to guarantee you win, basically. You're going to have 15 free bets, 10 USDT each time up for grabs. I've not quite worked out how we're going to do this yet, but stay tuned because at some stage you will get the opportunity to win yourself at 15 USDT. In fact, shall we say, we'll start off with, put a marker in the sun, over 2.5 match goals in this game. If that comes in, free bet lands. If it doesn't, we'll find another way of giving you it because it's Christmas Eve. Come on, happy Christmas, everybody, and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to try and spread some festive joy on Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io today. Fun, fast, ferociously can't even speak, Mark. Ferociously fair as we go through this Christmas Eve. I like this period in the season. We just had Paul Robinson and Neil Mellor talking about what it's like as a player to play around Christmas. Obviously, the players make big sacrifices. They can't do what normal people do in terms of getting on the pop and eating too much and doing all of that kind of stuff, can they? But from a supporter's perspective, and it is an entertainment industry, having matches pretty much every single day through the festive season, a Boxing Day full of football and beyond, it's great, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, a lot of people, certainly in the UK where we're based, they get time off at Christmas, don't they? So they're sat at home. What are you going to do? You're watching the TV. Yeah. You might want to have a little flush on the football. So it's a perfect chance, wall-to-wall football. I'm just wondering, I mean, I'm a big fan of the NFL, the American football, and they've got a full calendar today and then 3 games tomorrow on Christmas Day.
Oh, right, okay.
I wonder if the Premier League would ever dare.
Well, Christmas Eve seems to be adventurous, doesn't it?
Well, it does. We've
Christmas
had one,
Day
and that has come with great protests, hasn't it? But, it's interesting, isn't it, in America that they have sport all over Christmas.
I could see some family rows if Christmas Day had football on it.
Yeah, I'd love to come round for my Christmas dinner, but I'm off to watch Burnley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I can see a few families having some disagreements if that was the case. But anyway, Christmas Eve, and it's Wolves against Chelsea, not too far away from kick-off. We fancy goals. We fancy both teams to score. We fancy Hwang. We fancy Cole Palmer. How are your fantasy teams doing as well? I've got 3 Chelsea players in my fantasy team ahead of this one. No Wolves players in my team. I have got Nkunku, but he's obviously on the bench, but we'll see him, I think, today. Yeah. So I brought him into my team, but I've got Cole Palmer in my midfield. Who's my other Chelsea player? I've got Colwell in defence as well. So they're the 3 Chelsea players I'll be cheering on. So from that perspective, I want Chelsea to do very well today because I need points in my fantasy team because it's not doing very well at the minute.
I just had a look at the draw no bet market when we came in because when you look at the head-to-head, and I know a lot of people pay a lot of respect to head-to-head betting, the home team...
It's a bit Marmite in terms of how people see it.
Yeah,
isn't it?
look, I understand that. Everyone's got their own little ways into games, but the last 7 fixtures between these 2 teams in the Premier League, the away team has not won any of them. And I don't want to be a doom and gloomer, but there's been a couple of 0-0s in there as well. But so it is a home team fixture. Now, when we were watching the video with the guys, we were looking at the prices, and Wolves draw no bet with 2.30. It's now 2.22, so it has come down a little bit as we're near kick-off.
So hello to Viv. I think I saw messages from Joe as well. And Jesus Law's here with hello, James. Hello, Jesus Law. Good to see you. And Viv says it will land the over 2.5 he's talking about because Mark is a goal magnet. Last time he was in the studio, we had a goal party. If you remember that,
we absolutely
we had
did.
goals flying in left, right. So we got dizzy with goals, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm still not forgiving West Ham though because they were 1-1, and that's the one we needed to land all our bets. But yeah, we did have a lot of goals.
When you're hurt by the betting gods, you remember those teams for a long time, don't you?
Of course you do.
Genetic says, His Royal Majesty Marcus Maharaja Kosa Caesars our Supreme Ayatollah Grand Vizier Lord King Emperor James VII Rex. Hello, Genetics. Have you got one for Mark? Have you got a title for Mark just yet? But I will read it out if you send it in. And good to see you, Genetics, in Canada. You are, aren't you? So you are behind us in time, aren't you? So you're further away from Christmas at the minute, Genetics. Yeah. So whereas I've got a friend who emigrated to New Zealand. One of my best friends at school emigrated to New Zealand. He's been over there for about 15 years now with his wife. And I always get a Facebook message sort of about tea time today from them because of just kind of Christmas had just started for them.
It will be Christmas now there, won't it? On the other side of the world.
Genetics, you've let us down there, haven't you? I've got all of that long title and he's just gone, hello, Mark.
No problem.
He's a simple man. He's happy with that.
He's wanting to get his pre-match bets down. That's what he's doing. He ain't got time to be messing about.
Anyway, Wolves against Chelsea. We're not too far away from kickoff. Let us know how you are betting on this one. Tell us what you need to happen. Tell us what you're doing today. Whether you're into the Christmas spirit or whether you are of faiths that don't believe in Christmas and you're doing your own thing. Tell us what you're up to. Pop along and say hello on the Telegram chat. And it's good to have you with us, Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. The last game before Christmas, one more sleep before Santa comes, and then we'll be back with you. I'm here all day on Boxing Day. We've got a full Boxing Day fixture list. It is a long, long day on Boxing Day. I think I'm here for 10 hours on Boxing Day because we've got what have we got? We start off with Newcastle against Forest at 12:30. There's 2 games at 3 o'clock, Bournemouth, Fulham, Sheffield United and Luton. And then at 5:30, we've got Burnley, Liverpool. And then to finish off things on Boxing Day, Manchester United against Aston Villa. So wall-to-wall football on Boxing Day. And then it carries on the Wednesday, the 27th. Brentford, Wolves, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Everton against Man City. Man City, who have actually, without actually playing a part in this weekend's Premier League fixtures, have kind of done better because all the teams that they see as their biggest rivals have dropped points. And then on Thursday, Brighton, Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham. There's no days off for your Clubhouse creatures until Friday when it's just the Championship and League One stuff. So there is a lot of football to look forward to. Viv's got a strange little graphic there, football for all around the world there. Football. Alexi's with us from Ukraine. Hello, Alexi. And Genetics is saying he doesn't have one for you just yet. He's going to get you a nice title for maybe in 2024.
Just before we kick off, I'm just looking at the Premier League outright markets on the Sportsbet.io site. Top 6 market, in fact, that's just gone as I speak, but top 4 market, Chelsea is 17 to make the Champions League. They were 3.40 to make the top 6. Do you think they can still feature in the top echelons of the division?
I was saying to you before we came on air, Chelsea are a weird beast at the minute because they've obviously got good players there. But today, they could rock up at Wolves and win 3-0 and it wouldn't surprise you. Or they could lose 3-0 and it wouldn't surprise you. And that's kind of where Chelsea are. And Pochettino, I think, is a good manager and he's starting to fine-tune them and getting them slowly on the right track. But he's got it's a bit like playing sort of Championship Manager on your computer. He's got all of these stars there, and he doesn't quite shoehorning them into an 11 that he trusts and getting rid of the deadwood is a hard task, isn't it? Because they've bought so many players.
Well, they've bought too many, haven't they? I think we can agree on that. Their strategy moving forward is going to be interesting, isn't it? I'm just looking. They're 8 points off 6th place at the minute. Although they've got a game in hand. But I
wouldn't trust them with that bet. Put it that way.
No, I didn't think the 3.40 was quite big enough, if I'm honest.
The stories last season, wasn't there, of players getting changed in the corridor outside the dressing room because there wasn't enough. There were too many players for the seats in the dressing room. It was ridiculous. Brahi, hello to you. Hello. He says, "What's up?" Shelby, he says, "Hi guys." Brahi is with us as well. So plenty of you tuning in as we go through on this Christmas Eve. And festive greetings to all of you out there. And hopefully we get some winning bets as we go through Wolves against Chelsea, which is underway on our screens in the studio here. And we do have, I'm going to check actually to see if we got rapid betting on this as well, because as you know, those of you that watch Clubhouse TV a lot, I do like the rapid betting, so I'll see if we can find some rapid bets as we go through this as well. But we are underway. We expect goals. We expect both teams to score. For the free bet to land, there's 15 times USDT today because it is Christmas Eve. And I'll look after you, Clubhouse creatures, because it is Christmas.
Okay. Chelsea start the day 10th in the Premier League, above Bournemouth on goal difference only. We're mentioning those top 6 prices. I'm looking at the... and to get these, click on Premier League and then click on the outrights as opposed to the matches. It'll bring you all the prices. What about to finish in the bottom half? Chelsea, 6.00. I would literally take that. 1 point into the top half.
Yeah. I think they probably squeeze into the top half, but I would take that on a price.
Yeah, the price then
because there is a chance they could finish 11th quite easily.
Well, you mentioned that they are 1.13 to finish in the top half. They are 6 to finish in the bottom.
They loitered around 12th for much of last season, didn't they? So, and I think if you look at their form, I saw a form table or a points table for 2023. Aston Villa would be second behind Man City in 2023. Chelsea are bottom half in that table.
They are.
So, Timo's with us. Hello, James and Mark, he says. Hello, Timo. And Brahi says, Merry Christmas, everyone. So, festive greetings to all of you out there. Still 0-0 in Wolves Chelsea, but only into the about 3 minutes into that game. There are other matches around the world. They're kind of a little bit thin on the ground because it is Christmas Eve as well. So there's not a huge amount of football elsewhere, but there is some football elsewhere. So if there's anything else you want us to talk about, including in the Scottish Prem, you've got Motherwell against Rangers, with Rangers 2-0 up in the 48th minute. There's matches in Albania, Azerbaijan, India, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Thailand, Turkey. Turkey seem to play all the way through Christmas, don't they? UAE as well, and Zambia. So there are other matches available for you should you wish to partake in those. But obviously, most of our eyes in the studio are on Wolves against Chelsea. Is Chelsea trying to come forward, edge of the D, Cole Palmer trying to wheedle it through. but can't quite get it there. So Chelsea look as if they started slightly on the more front foot, Mark, at the minute.
Yeah, they're having a little bit more of the ball higher up the field, and they're starting to pop off a few passes, aren't they? It might be an early test of Wolves defensively. Just got to stay in the game. So they're not on the greatest run of form in all, but at home their form is good, and they do like to attack. And I think Wolves will score in the first half. I'm a big fan of that Wolves to score in both halves. I think they play with, they've got a counter-attack going here, and in the end, they've made a bit of a mess of that. I thought Wolves had numbers over at the far post and should have done better there, James, to be honest. That was dangerous, but now, having committed bodies forward, Sterling's going the other way. We've got the makings, I think, 4 minutes in of a really open game here.
This bodes well, doesn't it? A chance for Chelsea. He gets onto his left foot. In the end, he dallied too long. He tried to get it free so he'd get the shot away, but couldn't. And Wolves managed to regroup, but that was a chance.
Was that Brozier, wasn't it, with a chance? And I think a fully fit, informed player gets a shot away there, and he dwelt on it too long, didn't he?
I've not seen a lot of him, but from that, you assume that he likes his left foot over his right foot.
Yeah, look, I think he's a really good player, and we saw a lot of him when he first came through, but he's had a lot of injury problems. Everyone at Chelsea's got injury problems, haven't they, at the minute? But
somebody that likes the right foot would have had the shot first time, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just looking at his numbers for Chelsea. Only 2 goals, and he's started 22 times, so those figures are not great, are they? He's not been prolific, Armando Brozier, but he does know where the back of the net is. But real good chances at either end of the field, which is good for those who are trying to sniff out a free bet today. They want goals, of course, and good start, I think, for both sides.
Let us know on the Telegram chat what you're doing tomorrow for Christmas, whether you... if you do partake in the Christmas spirit, are you going to family? Are you away at the minute? You might be following us on your laptops from your mum and dad's house or something like that after travelling to go and see them. I'd be interested to know how you are celebrating, if you are.
Have you got the markets for that Rangers game, James? Because I've just been doing a little bit of stats surfing and investigating into Motherwell, and I think we might have a way in on this game.
Oh, I don't know if we have,
Has it gone? Okay, no worries. I'm
looking on the wrong screen. I'll find it.
Okay. I've got it.
I found it now. Just as you found it, I'll find it. Motherwell, greyed out at the minute on the outrights, but that's probably because Rangers are 2-0 up and the compilers have gone away from that. But where are you looking for value there?
Right, I'm going to give you the following stats. I'm looking at Motherwell form. Right, this is what's happened in Motherwell's last 6 home games in the Scottish Premiership.
Yeah.
Goal, 90th minute. Goal, 90th minute, 88th minute, 68th minute. Goal, 78th minute. Goal, 71 minute. Goal, 90 minute. Goal, 78 minute. Goal, 74 minute. Goal, 68 minute. Goal, 90 minute. Goal, 88. Goal, 83. Goal, 79. Goal, 73. That's just in their last 5 home games. I
take it that wasn't all scored by them.
No, but that means to me that obviously Rangers are going to move within 2 points of Celtic with a win. Looks at the minute you'd have to say like they're going to get a win. I would be tempted that there are going to be more goals in that game. Third goal live, Glasgow Rangers 1.55. Fourth goal live 2.54. I'm going to sit on that until there's 20 minutes left, and I'm going to get stuck into more goals in the game.
Currently 2-0 and in the 52nd minutes. There's plenty
you've
of
got
time
a lot
left.
of time,
yeah.
but I just look at that. Those numbers are ridiculous, aren't they? The number of goals in the latter part. They drew 3-3 with Ross County even. It was 0-0 after 65 minutes, and it was 3-3.
What's over 3.5 now? If somebody wants to take it, it's 1.98, so around about double your money.
Yeah.
If you want to go into that now and just go for more goals, over 4.5 is 4.2. If you want to get adventurous, that's a good price for 3 goals in the second half because we've only had 7 minutes of it so far.
Exactly. So, and look, they've got to go out. It's Christmas Eve. They're at home. They're getting beat 2-0. They've got to come out and play, haven't they? And I think that plays into Rangers' hands.
We were both talking about Leeds and their fantastic 4-0 win over Ipswich yesterday at Ellen Road. And I was saying that, if you as a Leeds fan, you go to see that and you go bouncing out the ground afterwards because you've won 4-0 and Christmas is here, everybody's feeling happy. The players need to give their fans a little bit to stop them kind of crawling out crying, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. It's a disappointing day, isn't it? If you're getting beat at home by, look, they're probably expectations of beating Glasgow Rangers today weren't great. I think their record against them is awful, if memory serves correctly. But they are next to bottom. They're 5 points clear of Livingston, who are bottom, but they will have played 2 games more. So even if they could nick a point today, I think you've got to go for it. But I do think they will get opened up later on. And Rangers, who've only conceded 8 goals in the league so far, you've got to imagine the goals, if they do come, will be going the way.
You'd think
of
so, wouldn't you?
The visitors.
Yeah, you would think so. So Rangers 2-0 up, and at 54th minute as we stand. So expecting more goals there. We're expecting goals in Wolves-Chelsea. And so far, as Mark was suggesting, it has been a very bright start in this game. End-to-end stuff. Probably more to Chelsea than Wolves, but Wolves are maybe trying to get a counter-attack going as we speak, but it's not gone out for a throw-in. But if you fancy goals in the first half of this one, I wouldn't necessarily put you off from what we've seen so far. First half Asian total, over 0.5 is 1.47, over 1.5 is 3. 3 for 2 goals in the first half. That's all right.
Yeah, we've only had 9 minutes, and there has been chances at both ends. I think if you're watching Wolves, you've got to expect that Chelsea are going to have a lot of the ball. Wolves do like to hit on the counter. They like to turn the ball over in midfield and break quickly. So they probably are going to sit back and let Chelsea have a lot of the ball. And I think a lot of Chelsea's problems this year have come when teams have said, well, you have the ball, what are you going to do with it? Yeah. And they haven't necessarily done enough with it.
Well, so many times this season, Mark, we've looked at the possession stats, and it's been like 75% possession to one team. But it's all been in their own half or on the halfway line.
Yeah.
They can't actually break the team down.
I think realistically, the only stat that other than the scoreline, that I take any reference from is shots, because too many times in the Premier League we see teams with 75% possession and don't shoot and get beat. But Chelsea,
this is good from Chelsea. Oh, nearly a chance. Fired across the penalty area, doesn't actually reach a Chelsea foot, but Chelsea looking good. The other stat I do quite like is the XG. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a guide to what chances they've had. I think sometimes people put too much weight for it, because if it's 0-0, but the XG for, say, Chelsea is 2.7, that's basically saying they should have scored 2.7 goals, but they've not been good enough to do it, really. They've created the chances, but they haven't put them away.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always tell you the full tale.
No, it doesn't. I'm more for actual shot. And I know that ties in with your XG. If teams are having shots, their XG is obviously going to be a lot higher, but that's the one I look at. I want teams to be shooting at goal. I've got to be honest, Broja 2.70, I would be keen to play him. He is playing he is a number 9, if you like. He's playing in the middle of the goal. I think he's going to get a couple of good chances today. We know he missed his kick earlier on, but 2.70 for an anytime scorer. Look, he's not prolific. We've already highlighted his numbers, but I just think he's playing in the right area. This is not a false 9. He's playing bang in front of goal, and he will get chances because they are getting in down the sides.
This is a chance for him, isn't it? To if he gets a little bit of a go with Chelsea, Pochettino, to actually kind of stake a claim for a real... because he's been on loan, hasn't he, elsewhere? He's kind of been in and around the Chelsea team for some time, came through the age groups, but then went to Vitesse on loan, went to Southampton on loan, has never really nailed down a starting place at Chelsea. This is maybe his best opportunity to do that.
Yeah, it is. And we all know, for all the money they've spent, Chelsea fans included are saying, why haven't we bought a decent striker? But they are getting joy. They've got in a couple of times down either flank, and look where he is. He's stood on the penalty spot saying, get that ball in here. I want a chance in front of goal. And I think he now is the player that I'm looking at, certainly from a Chelsea perspective. We've not seen enough really from Wolves. They've had a couple of breaks, not quite got the last pass right. We obviously mentioned Hwang. He's the man in form, isn't he, at the minute? They forced a corner here, Chelsea. But again, it's through play down the flanks. And
first corner of the match, though, isn't it?
I mean, would you? I am always a big fan of backing a centre-half from a set piece, but Chelsea don't strike me as a team that score that many goals.
I think you're on the right track. I think with Bro, he looks like the guy that's most likely. Doesn't mean he's going to score, but
no, it doesn't. But
he looks like the guy that's most likely to.
Yeah. They've just played the corner short here. They've got 5 players stood on the edge of the 6-yard box and they've not crossed it in, Chelsea. Now they cross it in, it's out for another corner.
I was about to say, let's get in on the corners. You can smell corners coming, and I smell corners coming in this now. There's enough, the place stretched enough and wide enough for corners to feature here. If you look at the corner markets, so look, might not get them in a minute because corners are being taken. Total corners in this match over 10.5 is 1.72, over 11 is 1.91. First half corners though, this is good. Over 5.5 first half corners is 2.02. You need 4 more in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, you could see that. We're probably on target, aren't we? We've been playing 13 and a half minutes. They've had 2. They are playing with great width, as we say. The corner actually match bet. Wolves 4.10, the draw 10.5, Chelsea 1.3. You'd have to say, given how this game is going, the fact that Wolves are playing on the break would limit their opportunities. So you might want to play Chelsea. I know it's short, but even in the race to 5 corners, they're 1.30. 1.93 in the race to 7 corners. Interesting. The only worry I have is when a team, Chelsea are almost chasing the game, if you like. They're trying to set the run in here.
Yeah.
If they were to score, would they change the way that they play a little bit? So
yeah.
I'm not sure I'd be as willing to commit long-term to corners as in the race to 7 at 1.91, even though I think it's a very fair price, because I don't think Wolves will get 7 corners today.
I'm going to change the way we do the free bet today. I'm going to go rogue, everybody, because it's Christmas. I want interaction from you today for free bets. I'm going to ask you now a question. If you had a Christmas wish for football, if you had a magic wand kind of thing for world football, what would you do with football to make it better? So if you answer that question, I'll pick out which one I think is the best, and we'll give free bets out as we go through the show today, rather than in one chunk. So if you had a magic wand, had a Christmas wish for football, whether it's your own team, whether it's English football, the Premier League, European Super League, and beyond, tell us how you would change it. Genetics comes in straight away with burn VAR down.
I was gonna ask you that. Would you get rid of VAR?
Do you know what? I like VAR.
Do you?
But I like it as a principle rather than how it's actually happening. I like the thought that you can get, because we've seen in the past, obvious offside decisions not given, team scores, team goes down, goal mouth technology has been ripped. I mean, that's the watch, isn't it? Not VAR, but that balls going over the line and not going over the line have cost teams big in the past. So kind of the premise of using technology the right way to get the right result and fair results is a good one. When you start getting VAR, spending 5 minutes working out if somebody's toe is beyond somebody's knee in an offside thing, that's getting stupid.
Do you not think that we should do it on the toe, and then it's a clear one line, isn't it? Then do you not think we should do it like that?
Well, I quite like the way when we seem in this country in the Premier League to put quite a thin, skinny line down to judge the offside. I think if you make the line like a foot wide or whatever, sort of that wide, you take out any kind of suggestion that maybe the kneecap's just beyond somebody's shoulder blade or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of, if it's not...
But that's why I think if you go with a toe, then it don't matter about the rest, because you can see the toe is generally on the floor, isn't it? Or what about you do it from the thing on the floor? I guess then, though, there could be jumping in the air and are they onside, offside? You'd have to have a rule for that, wouldn't you? So it's not as easy as you think.
No.
Is it?
Are we going to allow... shall we give Genetics a free bet for burn VAR down then?
Well, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Please burn VAR down responsibly would have to be the
exactly
thing. But look, I don't know if it's just in England. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be working as we all hoped it would. I think everyone agreed with like you said, the practicality of it and the thought process, but it's how it's implemented is horrendous. Anyway, while you're thinking about burning VAR down, Chelsea are dominating here in terms of possession, and I think it's...
Can I just ask Genetics for your username, Genetics, so I can put you on the list? When you send in your suggestions, put your username alongside them, so I can... If I pick you, then for the free bet, I'll need your username as well.
Yeah. Chelsea, half-time, full-time, 3.50. I still think Wolves will hit them on the break, but Chelsea are just dominating the ball at the minute. Sterling's trying to get round the outside again and trying to win himself a corner. He doesn't quite manage it, but Wolves are not really doing anything.
No.
It's like they've almost gone to do the Christmas shopping last minute and thought, no, we won't bother going and attacking. We better do the shopping first.
Well, for those of you just tuned in, that working out what we're doing for the free bet today, we're just having a chat today as the Wolves against Chelsea is being played. It's Christmas. There's 15 winners going to happen as we go through this match. Genetics is the first of the 10 USDT free winners for saying burn VAR down or whatever it was, take away VAR. So Genetics, you've got yourself on the list of 10 USDT free bet winners. Happy Christmas to you. And we'll keep asking the questions and having a chat as we go through. I'll pick out winners of good answers to the questions as we go through to win 10 USDT. You can only win once, though, as we go through this afternoon. So we're going to try and give 15 people a free bet for Christmas.
Over 2.5 goals has gone up to 1.94 now.
I'll tell you what, I like this one. Sorry to butt into your...
No, go
I know
on.
this is a betting programme and I'm butting into your betting, but Fretless says, make football available to the folks again by free open TV and cheap tickets. You can't argue with that, can you?
No, look, I mean, I'm lucky enough to work in football, so I don't have to pay to go watch it. I have every admiration for anybody that I see in a football ground that's paid to go, because it is extortionate at times in this country, and it is...
People moan about cricket tickets, and yet a football ticket is probably more, and you only see 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You get a full day with your cricket tickets.
You do.
Fretless, can I have your username? You've won a free bet for that. I really like that answer.
Well, Wolves almost on the break there. We mentioned they're going to try and press in the middle of the field. They almost caught Chelsea out, but the referee just said that it was a foul. I think it was Gallagher who went down under the tackle. Just getting another look at it now. I'm not even sure that's a foul, if I'm honest.
Did he touch him?
No, we did have a VAR check a moment ago for a foul on Raheem Sterling, but that was cleared.
I'll tell you what, I re-watched the Willy Bowley sending off yesterday. I was adamant on air. Oh, that's a sending off. He was out of control. I watched it again last night, and I don't actually think it was. I think he got the ball, his leg goes through, the other player stamps on his foot. So I actually think I was wrong yesterday. I think that was actually a bit of harsh treatment to Willy Bowley yesterday.
Yeah. They are on about changing the rules, aren't they? Here's a chance here. Oh, another miscontrol in the penalty area from Chelsea.
Tell you what, I'm going to press this. I want your best bet right now, Mark. After we've seen this attack, actually, let's have a look. It's cut it back, edge of the day. Conor Gallagher gets a shot away, and it's blocked away by Wolves. What's your best bet right now? Where would you take me for the value, Mark Wilson?
Well, I'm not saying it's value. It's value based on what I'm watching. And it's Chelsea to score the first goal at 1.64. They are dominant. Wolves are starting to put a couple of little counter-attacks together. Chelsea to win the game 1.99. I think Wolves need to do a little bit more. They're about to do a little bit more now because they're attacking down their left-hand side.
Don't press your button on the Chelsea bet just yet because see how this Wolves attack goes. But I agree. I think Chelsea look the most likely so far in this first half.
They do.
So we have basically we're having a chat today. I want you kind of your comments on football and various things as we talk it way through. Genetics and Fretless have already got themselves a 10 USDT free bet. You're on the list for Christmas. You're on the good list, the Santa's good list. But tell us how you would change football. What would you do to football if you had a Christmas wish for football? How would you change it to make it better? Viv's take me to cricket here. He's talking about the apology from Tom Curran. Did you see Tom Curran?
I've seen it this morning. I tweeted about it. I think he's bang out of order, personally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I quite agree with the right of an athlete to appeal a decision, but they should also accept. Sometimes you get told, well, if you appeal this, it might get worse. I think they could have doubled his...
He has behaved like a petulant child.
Yeah.
And he's been called out on it, and he's been made to look very, very silly.
And his apology... he should have done it straight away, as soon as it became news, rather than hiding behind the Sydney Sixers and getting them to basically appeal for him and him not saying a thing. Effectively, by his silence, effectively not backing down. He's come out today in a PR exercise to carefully word his apology, but his apology to me, Viv, isn't "I apologise to the umpire," "I apologise to the game." There's a little bit of that in it, but it's mainly about how it's made him feel. You don't apologise by saying, "Oh, it's affected me badly."
Yeah, I think had he got a fine instead of a ban, I don't even think he'd have apologised.
No,
and it was petulant. You could see. I mean, the Australian TV company have actually released the video, haven't they, with the audio where the umpire's saying, "Look, you can't do it. You're not allowed. You've got to move out of the way." Pathetic is how I see it, and I'm glad he's got banned. And I'm with you. You know what? If that was me, I'd have probably given him a bit longer. But good to see the sport backing up the officials.
I'd have raised it to 6 and fined the Sydney Sixers for not actually apologising either on his behalf. The team should apologise too. Viv says exactly should have done straight away. Now playing the victim card in some sense. I agree with Viv. I have to say I'm a big cricket fan. I'm not a massive fan of Tom Curran as a human being, for many reasons.
All right, season's greetings and all that, James.
Yeah, but have a Christmas, Tom, if you're watching. Thank you for your messages so far. Good to have you with us on this Christmas Eve. We're asking the question, if you could change, cricket even, and football as well, any sport, how would you change it? A Christmas wish for the sport that you love. How would you make it better? If you had one wish for football, how would you make it better? We've had VAR. We've had it open up to the fans and make tickets a little bit cheaper and what have you. Any other ideas that you'd have to make football better? I did see one, actually. I'm going to scroll back because I think I missed one about Viv says take away power from UEFA and FIFA and give it back to the clubs and players. Well, clubs and players do have power.
No, I'm not having that. I think you do that, and you go on about ticket prices and free to view football. You give it to the clubs, you'll be getting none of that.
I think there's two things there. There's what Marcy said, and there's also you need some kind of governing body with laws and rules. The fact that at the moment maybe Viv and a lot of people don't think UEFA and FIFA are doing that good a job is a different thing.
UEFA and FIFA are doing a great job for UEFA and FIFA. Whether they're doing a great job for the man on the street, I'm not so sure. But at the same time, I'm with you. I think you hand over to the clubs, and I think you get a whole different set of rules. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. But
give us your username, Viv. For your suggestion, we'll give you a free bet today because it's Christmas Eve. So give us your username, Viv. I'll stick you on the good list.
Yeah.
On Santa's good list.
Are you on the Santa good list, James?
I doubt it very much.
Yeah, I must admit, if I'd have been offered 2.00 on no, I would have put everything I have on 2.00 no. But Chelsea still tank. We've just seen a little bit more from Wolves, actually. Just lacking that decent ball into the box. Chelsea is still dominating possession. I do think we get a goal in the first half. I do think that. I mean, both teams score, yes, has gone above 2 now, 2.14 now.
It's not too late for that to happen by any means, is it?
Absolutely not. And it's one of those games where once you get one goal, the game completely changes, you know. And I'm actually still a big fan of that. I think we'll get 2.14. Remember the stats: 8 in 9 Wolves home games that would have landed, and I think it was 4 of the last 5 Chelsea away games would have landed both teams to score.
Viv, thank you for your username. You go on as our third winner today. There's 15 winners available. Give us a good answer to the questions we're asking you and join in the discussion, and you can get yourself a free bet as we go through this Christmas Eve show. The over 2.5 goals that we started with, we'll scratch that. Whatever the score is, you're going to get a chance to get a free bet regardless today.
Okay. I'm just going to nip back to Scotland. Over 2.5.
Have a good trip.
Over 2.5 Glasgow Rangers goals is now 1.90. Now we're 68 minutes in. Remember those stats for goals conceded and scored by Motherwell in their home games. I think you'll see. I'm very happy to play the 1.90 on another goal there for Glasgow Rangers in that game.
Raheem Sterling goes to ground just outside the penalty area there, just outside, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea.
Who do you think's going to take this free kick?
Who takes their free kick? Conor Gallagher takes some, doesn't he? Who else is there? Raheem Sterling, I've seen him take some, but not very well.
Chelsea are 3.15 to win the first half. They've got a free kick like 19 yards out from goal, right on the edge of the penalty area. This is a great opportunity. Really good opportunity.
She says, but then you can't operate a good system of atmosphere if you're giving away free, open to TV and cheap tickets. Things cost now, and so do the players. I mean, there is money involved, obviously, and clubs do rely on the revenue coming in, but that's suggesting that only non-fans would buy cheap tickets. There's a lot of tickets in England are expensive. There is a cost of living crisis in England. England's a rich country, so kind of the people at the bottom end aren't exactly on the streets, or some are, but some aren't.
I don't know. I think football now has become a luxury to many people.
But you get your normal kind of working class families that want to take mum, dad, 2 kids.
£200 day out.
They are
minimum.
They are priced out of it. They can't afford to go.
£200 day out.
And that if they could afford to go, it wouldn't make the atmosphere any less. They'd probably be even more loud because they'd be happy to be there.
Oh, Raheem Sterling. Free kick. Only him
Well, that's
stood
what I said.
over it.
I've seen Raheem take him. I've never seen him take them well. So that was a bad one.
That was poor.
But I'm going to put you in the list, Chi. Thank you for your... Chi, give me your username. Reply to me with your username, and I will stick you on the list of free bet winners. Thank you, everybody, for watching this year, by the way. It's been a lot of fun on Clubhouse TV, and most of that's down to you and your messages coming in, so it's always good to have you with us on Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Slissy comes in with a suggestion here, Mark. The time should have been stopped every time there is a stoppage in the game, just like handball and basketball. Then we really get 90 minutes of football. So what he's basically suggesting is a big clock above the stadium, and every time the referee goes free kick.
I agree. I mean,
stops.
they do that in the sport that I love, as you know, rugby league. They do that, and they stop the clock. I just think you'd have to have some rules, because otherwise the game would last ages. You'd think every time it goes out, sometimes it can take 20 seconds to take a throw in. How many throw-ins do you have in a game? So you add on 20 seconds for every throw-in.
There's been people study this, haven't there, by saying that a 90-minute football match, the ball's only in play for, it's actually a very surprisingly small amount of minutes.
Yeah, and I get that the fans want it in play the whole time, but you know, you're probably there 2.5 hours minimum. Oh, now Wolves have got a free kick on the edge of the area.
Chi, I need your username, please. I need your username. I like that, Slissy. Slissy, give me your username. You're going to go into the winner's circle with your suggestion there for stopping the time every time the ball goes out of play.
I like it. I think maybe like the American football, what you'd have to do is let it run, and maybe when you get into the latter part of the half, you stop it every time it goes out of play to stop any time wasting. You shouldn't really have time wasting when it's 0-0 after half an hour. I mean, we do get it occasionally, but very rarely.
Free kick here for Wolves, though. And this is right dead centre, right on the edge of the D.
This is a chance.
Some would say this is too close to goal, but you've seen these, by the way.
I don't think it is. I think this is perfect range. Yeah. On the edge of the D, isn't it?
So let's see, need your username if you're going to go in the winner's circle, so get that in. Got loads of good messages coming in, actually. This is it's interesting. I did say on the VAR thing, Stuart Broad, the cricketer, he's a big football fan, big Forest fan. He was in the papers once because he was top of the fantasy football league in the entire country, Stuart Broad. But he made a suggestion about VAR yesterday, because obviously, having played cricket, in cricket you get DRS, and captains are able to invoke DRS. Basically, if they don't agree with the decision, they're able to go umpire. They make the sign, and then they say, "Can we have a look at this, please?" And that'll be, you only get so many, 2 or 3, depending on the type of cricket. You only get so many appeals, if you like, per match. Free kick off the top of the wall, goes for a corner. That was probably not going to be far away if it hadn't just clipped the top of the wall.
It was a good effort, wasn't it? Sarabia with the set piece, and that, you know what, that's testing the keeper big time. The wall's done a great job there. It's behind. Wolves on the attack, 31 gone. Go on then. We'll just watch this corner and then we'll get back to that, because it's there to be tweaked.
Yeah. Corner,
definitely.
Nothing comes from that corner. But Stuart Broad was saying, why don't we give either the captain on the pitch or the manager the option of kind of going, ref, can we have a look at that?
Oh, Chelsea must score here. They must score. It's 3-on-1. Oh, Sterling, what have you done?
It's coming back with them. It's coming back with them. Can Chelsea? Can Chelsea? Shot comes in straight to the hands of the keeper.
Oh, no. The Wolves player lost it on the edge of his centre circle. Keeper plays it to him. He loses it. There are 3 players stood on the edge of the 18-yard box. 1 goalkeeper.
Good save.
Why has he not passed?
Good save, came out, narrowed the angle down.
No, that's not a good save. That is awful, awful attacking.
As Roy Keane would say, he's just done his job.
He has. Yeah. Right, Sterling, you greedy man.
Yeah, Stuart Broad says, appeal. So if you're on the, referee, if I don't know who you give the appeal to, captain on the park or manager, but they go, ref, we think that's a penalty. And that'll be one of their 3 in the match or something.
Going back to the NFL, same thing. Coach has a red flag in his pocket. He wants to challenge it. He throws a red flag on the field.
In cricket,
stop the play and have a look. If he loses it, he loses a timeout and he doesn't get his challenge back.
And in cricket, there's a little bit of jeopardy on when you use your, because we've seen people query a decision which is obviously right when it's come back, and you lose,
like Stuart Broad does every time,
and you lose your life. But then you see captains think, no, I'm not going to review that, and then they replay it and it was out. So you
like you said, you're putting the onus onto the team, and you can no longer moan if you've got the right to intervene and you choose not to intervene. That's not the referee's fault. That's your fault, and there's a skill involved with that.
Shelby has pretty much said exactly what Stuart Broad was saying. Objection rights should be introduced for VAR. VAR should not look every position. Coaches should have 2 objection rights. So it's effectively the same thing.
I agree, and it limits then when they use, and it puts the responsibility back onto the players.
Right, so Cheese going on the list. He's going on Santa's good list. So well done, Cheat. You're going to get yourself a 10 USDT free bet. And Shelby, seeing as you said exactly what I was saying without reading your message.
Oh, it would have to be right then, wouldn't it, if you're saying what you're saying?
Seeing as you agree with me, Shelby, you get one as well. So Shelby, if you give me your username, then we will get you a 10 USDT free bet at the end of the programme. Jaffrey, hello to you. Good to have you with us. And hello to everybody on this Christmas Eve. Hopefully you're having a good day out there. Hopefully your bets are going well. Gamble responsibly, of course. You're watching Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io, the world's most fantabulous Bitcoin sportsbook, as a shot goes rifling into Rose Ed.
If you've backed Chelsea to be leading at half-time, to put it into context, for those who saw the Liverpool game last night when they had like a 5-on-1 and Alexander-Arnold hit the crossbar, didn't he? Raheem Sterling not passing the ball there. That is criminal. I'm sorry, it is. He's got to pass.
That Alexander-Arnold was harder than it looked.
Just bobbled, didn't it?
The ball just rose on him, didn't it? So he put his foot through
Liverpool
it.
to win as well. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I might have needed the bleep button there when he hit the crossbar. I thought they should have scored. But like you said, you see the replay. It did just bobble on him, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. There were just waves on the charge, weren't they? Cheat, you're on the list, and Slissy, you're on the list as well. And Shelby, you're on the list as well. So we're asking you, if you had a magic wand, what would you change about football to make it better going into 2024? All of you sending me your usernames without any comments. Yeah. That's not how it works. No. You need to give me a suggestion before we grant you a free bet. But we'll look after you. If you get a good suggestion in, we'll look after you. And we've also got, where are we? I'm missing loads because there's so many coming in. Viv says, James, we need black fedora cap and black suit and Tommy gun rifles, and we could shoot an Italian mafia movie with Mark as the lead. Well, he's got you down as a mafia boss.
Look, what I do in my own business is not in my own time is nobody else's business.
Careful, Viv, don't cross him. You'll wake up with a horse's head in your bed tomorrow. Alexi says, ban advertising in the stadium, or at least filter it, because sometimes when you watch Serie A, La Liga, it's very annoying.
I can say it is, but you ban it and the cost of watching football goes up. Yeah. So, yeah, it is there for a reason, sadly. Generally involves players' wages.
I think that I agree with Alexi a little bit, but the task of it's like on a website, isn't it, or in a football ground or at a stadium. The task is to try and make the advertising obvious without making it too obvious, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It is. Sometimes when you open up a website and all you see is adverts and you can't actually see what you're looking for, you go off the website, don't you?
You do. But it's there. We're watching the screen now and you can see the adverts all around.
Alexi, give me your username and we'll send you a free bet in the Ukraine, and good luck to you and your countrymen over the Christmas period.
All right. What did you make of the boxing last night anyway?
I didn't watch it. Not a big boxing fan, I have to say.
Deontay Wilder stumped the place out, didn't he?
Who won? He
got beat by Joe Parker.
Okay.
So they were setting up the big money fight with Wilder and AJ, and AJ had a nice win, and Deontay Wilder, to me, looked like a boxer who was finished, if I'm honest. So, interesting.
Yeah, so Alexi, we need your username, please, and we'll get you a free bet today. And Joe says, I have one. We make like something between yellow and red cards. I like this, Joe. I like this a lot. Like being 3 cards. So what he's saying is you have a yellow card, there's probably an amber card in the middle, and then there's a red card. So there's something between the yellow and the red, because we see a lot of challenges at the minute where you're thinking that's definitely yellow. It's not quite a red. There's something in the middle.
What are your thoughts on the old sin bin? They're on about it bringing in a sin bin.
I don't like the sin bin idea.
Why not?
Because I think if you have tell you why. Because I like backing more goals in games and things like that. And my heart sinks when I see a red card because it basically means it kills the game.
Yeah.
They park the bus, they try and kind of with 10 men frustrate, and often that leads to hardly anything happening in the rest of the match. And so you got a chance where you get a free-flowing game where it's great, as Wolves come flying forward, free-flowing again, good keeping there as he came out quickly. You get the opportunity for that game just to die for 10 minutes whilst the team just shuts up shop.
Yeah, but you're on about that red, orange, yellow card scenario. I don't know. We'll see.
Alexi's given me his username and he says, but my obvious dream is peace.
Well, look, that shouldn't be anybody's dream. That should be everybody's reality, shouldn't it? But sadly, that's not the world we live in.
We wish you all well in the Ukraine over Christmas, Alexi.
Yeah.
Brahe says, use the VAR in the offside, like if the striker is all his body is offside, not only 1 centimetre like hands or something. I agree with that, Brahe. They it's like I say, yesterday we had one they took ages to look at it, trying to work out whether his shoulder blade was just beyond the knee.
Chance for Wolves.
Corner.
They've made a mess
How
of
many
that.
corners is that now? That's corner number 4, I think.
Yeah, I think that's only 4, but that was a chance there for Wolves. I think that's their best chance of the game there. They didn't quite clear it. Ball falls edge of the area. Shot comes in. They were appealing for an offside against Hwang, I think it was. He was onside, but he couldn't get the shot away in time. Gets blocked out for a corner.
Free bet awarded to Brahe and to Joe. Both give me your username, so we'll get you a 10 USDT free bet at the end of the programme. So Shelby says, I think it should only be valid for offside. For other situations, there should only be the right to object, just like the NBA. Yeah, I could see that. I actually think they're too pernickety on offsides. It's, a hair on the knee offside is not offside.
I think you're on the right line. You said about the thick line.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be an element of doubt that goes the way of the attacking player. I'm with you on that one.
The whole point of VAR is, and it was for DRS when it came into cricket, is to get rid of the stinker.
Yeah.
Is to get rid of when somebody is obviously not out in cricket, or when there's a goal that's obviously wrong, another corner. Then you basically chalk it off. What we're doing at the minute is re-refereeing matches.
Yeah, I agree.
That is going too far.
No one ever went to the pub and went, he was a millimetre onside or offside.
Yeah.
You can live with that. That's human error. There will be human error. We forget that. But I am, I'm with you on that one. I think that needs sorting out. Spend too much time trying to disallow goals rather than saying, no, that looks all right, you can have the goal.
So
Speaking, Dawson at the far post. He's got to hit the target. He's headed it wide. No goal in Scotland, by the way. What's happening to Motherwell? Why are they not conceding a goal? They always concede in the second half.
Jaffrey says, extra time eliminates shootouts, he says. Though they have provided much drama and excitement. This is basically cut and pasted off Wikipedia, I think, Joe. But he's basically saying it's tough to argue that the penalty shootout from the spot is a fair way to decide the winner of the match, especially when you consider that the method is only used to break the tie in deadlock situations, which is a definition of high-stake games. Imagine working for an entire season, a career, even a lifetime in many cases, to have a chance at winning a major trophy as a player or coach or a fan, only to lose in what amounts to an almost random skills contest. No other sport allows something like a championship game to be decided in such a frankly ridiculous manner. Do you know what? There is massive drama and jeopardy on a penalty shootout, but when you phrase it like that, where a team's been working all season for that goal and they lose it on a penalty shootout, it is a bit more of a lottery, isn't it?
No, I don't agree with that, and I also think we've seen some turgid extra time things. Yeah. I think one of the best things that's happened in England in the League Cup, they just got rid of extra time and got straight to penalties.
When you, as a neutral. You definitely, when a game gets to the end of the 90 minutes, you don't want 30 more minutes. You want penalties.
Yeah.
I
agree. It's very rare. I think the World Cup, wasn't it? That was a great game, wasn't it? Last time.
Wolves
have got a great chance. Another corner, though. That's 6.
Got there. Over 5.5 corners lands.
Yeah. Wolves actually got the last 4 of them as well, which is interesting.
I quite like the idea of taking a man off every 5 minutes or whatever.
You see, I would go for that. I think that will be very interesting.
There's some tactics involved in that.
You're putting it onto the club, aren't you? You're putting it onto the manager. Does he get his tactics right? Who does he take off? Who does he leave on?
You can imagine in the paper the next day Gareth Southgate getting absolutely slaughtered because he's taking Harry Kane off first or something.
Gareth Southgate gets slaughtered, whatever happens. Could win the World Cup, he'd still get hammered. But we didn't do it well enough.
You basically have to hook a player every 5 minutes until basically a goal's scored.
I do think when you actually look back at the history of extra time, by and large, it's rubbish.
Yeah, not a lot happens. Because the stakes are so high, aren't they? You prefer to take your chances with the penalty shootout than make a huge mistake in extra time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jaffrey, I'm going to allow that. You can have a free bet. Jaffrey, if you give me your username, then we will get you a 10 USDT free bet by the end of the programme, Jaffrey. I'm in King, says Brahi, or not yet. Brahi, did you give me a suggestion? Because basically what we're doing... Oh, yeah, you did. You said... Brahi, you are in. Use the VAR in an offside if the striker is his body, not 1 centimetre. I like that. I did like that, Brahi. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier about the thick line, rather than kind of just trying to... Almost firing a laser across the ground to see if there's a hair offside. That's not football.
It's not. By the way, Cyril Dessers had a goal disallowed for Rangers in the second half. Not happy. Still 2-0 that one. So
I need Jaffrey's username, and also need the username for Jaffrey. It was you, wasn't it? We need your username.
Are you keeping a list here, James?
I am.
You seem to be giving away a lot of free bets at the minute.
I've got
bottom
of
like
pockets.
Santa.
It's not my money, Mark.
Well, here come Wolves. Oh, Hwang over the top. That was a huge chance. Tell you what, Wolves have been dominating the last 10 minutes. Oh, this is just one ball over the top. Look how easy this is. He's in over the top. Keeper stays at home, and he's put it just over the top. I think it's a target there, James. He scores. Oh, dear.
Yeah, he just gets underneath that, doesn't he? Just gets underneath that. So Hwang hangs his head. It's a hang instead of Hwang, because he misses out on a real golden opportunity. That I am surprised we haven't had a goal in the first half. There's been enough incident, hasn't there?
Certainly has. But for all Chelsea were good, you asked me my best bet halfway through that first half, it was Chelsea. Now you'd have to say Wolves are growing. It's getting a bit spiky as well, isn't it? There's a few tackles flying in.
Petey is saying he's got a handball adjustment. Tell me more, Petey. What would you change about handball? He's already done it. If a ball hits any non-goalkeeper's hand, let's define a hand as anywhere on the arm below the elbow. Anywhere, at any time, for any reason, it's a handball and free kick to the other team. Doesn't matter if your hand is behind your back or what your intent was. Ball hitting hand equals handball.
Is there not an element there that these players are that skillful? You could get into the penalty area and leather it at someone's hand,
like a coconut shy. Hit a hand, you get a penalty.
I think that would be a problem. That would be a problem.
I could see that, but I do think there needs to be some kind of. Because do you see the one in the Liverpool game?
Yeah.
When basically, what's his face, Odegaard, was basically resting his hand on the ball.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody said, well, he slipped. But if you actually look at it, he set himself. He then twisted his body because the ball was going to his left.
Yeah.
His arm went towards...
I would have given that, I have to say.
That was a handball for me.
Yeah,
that was a handball for me. So I like that, Petey. Tell us your username. You're going to get yourself a 10 USDT free bet, Petey. And Wakinga says, I had two things in my mind, James. Only one free bet available, Wakinga. Firstly, about VAR and automated offside and handball decisions detection using present technology would give a fair decision for every team. Final one would be, it was already discussing technology in football for the future. It was VAR simulations and 360-degree simulations of being in the pitch. This one would be for fans and learners. Don't totally understand what you're saying there, Wakinga.
What I can't understand, James, is on the field how they cannot. I don't know how they would do it computer-wise. I'm not a computer boff, but they must be able to break that pitch down into minute squares and know who's on and offside. Surely there must be somebody in the world that can produce that kind of technology. It doesn't seem. When you think we can put people in space, but we can't tell whether a bloke's offside from 12 yards out.
That's what I always say about weather forecasts. We can put men on the moon. We can invent vaccines for killing viruses. We can do all sorts of incredible things, computers and internets and everything, but can't tell if it's going to snow in 5 minutes, can we? Not with any degree of certainty.
No.
But anyway, we have so far the winners of the free bets this afternoon. Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas, everybody. Genetics, Fretless, Viv, Slissy, Chi20, Tarsnua, Thunder Knight, John King, Jaffrey, Pete787 and Brahi 012. You're all going to get yourself 10 USDT this Christmas Eve, and we will open it up again in the second half. There's 15 to give away. I think that's 10. So there's 5 more free bets up for grabs in the second half because they have reached half time in the game between Wolves and Chelsea, and it is still goalless, Mark.
Wolves in the ascendancy, though, I would suggest. And I think if I'm approaching it new, forgetting everything that we've said previously, you would have to be looking at some kind of pro Wolves bet. We did go Wolves draw no bet, didn't we, at 2.22. They're 2.80 to score the first goal, 3.90 to win the match in normal time. The double chance, Wolves or the draw, is 1.57. Both teams to score 2.82. I wouldn't necessarily rule that out. Chelsea had a great opportunity. Raheem Sterling, he's running at goal. He's got two Chelsea players unmarked to his right-hand side. If he passes it to either one of them, it's a goal. He opted to shoot, it got saved. At the other end, we've seen Hwang have a couple of, well, certainly one good chance and one half chance. Wolves are starting to get more joy playing on the break. They're getting in behind quite a lot. I thought the goalkeepers looked hesitant a couple of times. Mentioned that the home team have got a good record in this fixture. I am doing an about turn. Chelsea started well. No, Chelsea started well.
Yeah. No, you're right.
They've been poor for 25 minutes, and I think that Sterling
That's in play betting, isn't it?
miss puts me off. I'm all in on Wolves. I'm all in on Wolves.
We're going to basically take a little bit of a break. Mark's going through Wolves. We've got one half of football left before we reach Christmas. Whether you celebrate or not, we wish you well over the next few days. Enjoy the holidays for those of you that are taking them. Rodri A, can I join? He says now. And Rodri A, we're asking for your best suggestions for 2024. If you were to change one thing about football, what would you change? And you can join. You can put in an answer. We won't read it until the second half because we're going to take a little bit of a break. And my Christmas present to you, Clubhouse creatures, is a little bit of Carnu. He's a lovely little fellow with a big smile. That's what Christmas is all about, isn't it?
So it is a very special Behind the Bet with sportsbet.io from the home of Arsenal Football Club, Emirates Stadium. My name's Gavin from Clubhouse TV and this is Carnu, and we've got to Behind the Cause. This is where we're going to give a €500 donation to the charity of your choice, which of course is the Carnu Heart Foundation, which helps children in Nigeria with cardiac diseases they can obtain and receive life-saving surgery within and outside Nigeria. Launched in 2000, and the foundation has helped over 500 children, spending over a reported $4 million. So these children can receive open heart surgery in hospitals around the world. Of all your achievements on the pitch, they are pale into insignificance, really, with what you've done off the pitch with this. Tell me about that, because this is just terrific.
Yeah, I always say to people that, winning trophies, of course, you worked hard for that, and you win trophies to show what you have done, what you have worked hard for. But all the same, this is to do with life, and it's, for me, the most important. If a kid, let's say 7 years, even 2 years, or 8 years, or 5 years, 4 years, having a heart problem, I went through it. I know how difficult it is and how painful it is. But if you have those kids of such age going to go for an open heart operation, which means you have to open the heart to do the operation, definitely it's going to be difficult for them. But we pray for them. We wish they're going to make it. Some of them, they don't make it, but most of the ones that we have done, was successful. Not only that, it's also difficult even to get the funds for checkups. And that is where the foundation comes in, because we all took care of them from the medical side, from the checkups to where they are traveling to, and the operation, and bringing them back as well. It's very expensive. We started in Great Ormond Hospital in London. Was in pounds, was very high. We did first 3 operations when we started. We have to move to Israel. That was in dollars. And somebody have to tip us and told us India was much better and more cheaper, and they are good as well. So we went to India and we started in India, and up to today we are still doing our operations in India. But the most important thing here is that when you do have that problem with the heart, the kid is not going to be the same anymore. You look at the eyes, most of them are red. Sometimes they don't smile at all. It's not that they don't want to smile, but they have issues with the heart. They don't smile. They don't play with other kids. They don't play along. They keep on crying. I remember the first 3 that we operated here. When I went to them and I saw them, 2 of them came to the foundation for help. One came to me when we were playing the African Nations Cup in 2000 with the mom. And the mom came, they were on the lift. I was on the lift with them. They said, they're looking for me. I said, that's good. Why? They said, we know that you are starting the foundation. I want my daughter to be the first that you're going to help. I said, So what's wrong? He says the heart. And immediately he says the heart, the girl fainted. We have to rush to get to the hospital. Thank God it didn't die. And I promised the mom that she's going to be one of the first kids you're going to help. And we took her to London. After the operation of the tray, and I went to visit them, you can see the whole hospital knew they were there. They were running around, they were happy, the eyeballs changed back to blue, you can't control them, they are eating, they were okay again. So I was very, very happy. And I think only that can tell you the kind of relief and happiness that we follow when you see somebody who are about to die and then you saved him.
You literally see them coming back.
Yeah, to life again. Life. And Foundation have done, from 2000 till now, we have done 680 open heart operations. So we are still going because we have a lot on the waiting list. We have almost like 100 on the waiting list because everyone now knew about the foundation. And if you have any little problem with the heart, the phone calls are keep ringing. Everybody wants you to help. And Nigeria is a very big country. You can help everyone.
Absolute respect for you. Honestly, it's just an amazing achievement. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you, it's a little bit of fun. I know it's a serious subject, but we're going to have a little bit of fun as well. Because I'm going to ask you 10 questions. It's a bit of a Carnu quiz. And for every question you get right, we're going to add €50 to the 500 that's already going. That's already sorted. Okay? So there's a chance to double your money. Okay? Some of these questions will just be about football. A lot of these questions are literally just about you. Are you ready to play?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
So you're looking, aren't you?
No, I'm not looking.
Looking at me. Hey? Right, you ready? Question number 1. What was your shirt number at Arsenal?
My shirt number at Arsenal, 25.
Is the right answer. That's an extra €50. Okay. Question number 2. Who did you score your first Arsenal goal against? I can give you some clues if you want.
No, difficult. No, I can't get.
Do you want some clues?
Okay.
Begins with the letter D, and it was in the FA Cup. Starts with D, and ends in Derby County. Just say Derby County.
I know the club, but you mean the goalkeeper?
No, they're just a team.
Oh, is Derby County?
Yeah, Derby County.
No, but if I thought it's the goalkeeper, because if we have to replay the game. Yeah.
Well, we'll allow that one anyway. We'll allow that as 50. Just say Derby County for official records.
Derby County.
There's the right. Okay. Question number 3. Spell Carnu backwards. Spell your name backwards, Carnu.
UNAK.
That's €150 now. That's 3 questions correct. Some of them are tougher than that, by the way. Okay, this one might be a tough one. Who was, question number 4, who was the first ever Nigerian footballer to play in the Premier League?
John Fashion.
Wasn't. It was a guy called Efen Ikoke.
Oh! Efen played before John?
Yeah. No, John Fashanu was English.
No, he's Nigerian.
He's English, isn't he, John Fashanu? Oh, we need an official adjudicator.
He's living in Nigeria now.
Yeah, but I believe John Fashion, who played for him, represented England. So the answer was F and a Koku. So that's question number 4. This is question number 5. So at the moment, you've got €150 on top of the 500, okay? So in the season you joined Arsenal, who was sent off the most in that season in the Premier League? Emmanuel Petit or Martin Keown?
Emmanuel Petit.
You sure?
Martin Keown.
No! Don't change your answer.
Okay, Emmanuel Petit.
It's the right answer. It was Emmanuel Petit.
Because I know. He keep kicking people.
Okay. Right, here we go. Another question about Arsenal. So you're up to €200 now. So it's €700 that was. So this is question number 6. Okay. Who was Arsenal's top goal scorer in the season you joined Arsenal Football Club? Who was the leading top scorer?
Aneka.
Is the right answer with 19 goals in 45 appearances. So I make that as up. You're 250 at the moment. Okay. So you're doing very well. This is question number 7. You made your debut for Nigeria against which country?
Sweden.
No hesitation whatsoever. You're up to €300. I think you've got every single one right, apart from Efenikoku. Okay. You played for West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League. 5 other football teams, starting with the letter W, have played in the Premier League. Can you name 4 of them?
Wolves.
Is one. There's another one in the Premier League right now that starts with W.
West Ham.
West Ham, yep. 2 more. In fact, you scored against one of these. They kind of don't exist anymore, but you did score against these in the Premier League. I think you scored at home at Highbury against them. Oh, no, you did score at Watford.
Yeah.
But this team doesn't really exist anymore. Not in this current, in the guys that they were. You scored against them at Highbury, and you scored against them at their place as well. Do you want a clue? Starts with W.
Wimbledon.
Yes! Yes, Wimbledon is the right answer. The other one for the record was Wigan Athletic.
Oh.
Yeah. So what was that? Question 8 up to €350. Right, question number 9. Name 2 Nigerian players in the Premier League right now.
Iwobi.
Yep. Alex Iwobi plays for Everton. And another one.
Kelechi Iheanacho.
Is the right answer for Leicester. It could have had Tayo Iwaniwi, who plays for Forest, Emmanuel Dennis, who also plays for Forest, Frank Onyeka for Brentford,
Ndidi.
Joe Aribo for Southampton,
And Ndidi.
and Wilfred Ndidi. But you've got 9 questions so far, 8 right, €450. So it's €400. Sorry. Question number 10. Who did you score your last goal against for Arsenal? They're still in the Premier League.
Let's go for Arsenal.
Starts with E.
Everton.
Yeah, there isn't many.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. This is Clubhouse TV.
And a very warm welcome back, everybody around the world. Clubhouse Creatures Unite. It's Christmas Eve. Hopefully all of you are well and your families are well as we prepare for the second half of Wolves against Chelsea. 0-0 at the break. They have just kicked off for the second half. It's James and it is Mark with you this Christmas Eve. And we're having a show with a slight difference today. There's no kind of... we don't need something to happen for the free bets to land. We've got 15 times 10 USDT at our disposal. And we've been been chatting about basically what's right and wrong about football, and for much of that first half, getting people to name their Christmas wishes. If you could have one wish for football, or for any sport really, and what would you do to change it to make it better in 2024? So there are, I think, 5 free bets still available for you. So if you come in with your suggestions, if you've not already won, and I'll tell you who's already on the list for the free bet. We've had Genetics, Fretless Viv, Slissy Chi, Tarzanua, Thunder Knight, John King, Jaffrey, Pete, and Brahi. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 4 free bets available. So if you've got a suggestion for the game, then let us know, and you could win yourself 10 USDT this Christmas Eve. In terms of this game, though, Mark, 0-0 at the break. Surprises that we haven't had a goal just yet. I wouldn't rule out goals coming, though, still.
No, certainly not. Mind you, can I just go back to that video there with Carno? I tell you, if I ever get to the final question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I hope Big Gav's asking it. He'd give you the answer, wouldn't he?
Although, with all due respect to Carno, who I love on that...
Sorry, James. Chelsea have just given it away. Edge of their area, deflected shot just wide.
Oh, Gomez goes close, goes very close.
Wow, that was a horrendous defensive error there.
Thiago Silva, I think, to blame there, wasn't it?
It was. That was horrendous. That was a chance. In fairness, they got back and blocked it just in the nick of time.
Just deflected wide, wasn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, with all due respect to Carno and his lovely smile, I don't think he'd be my phone a friend. He can't remember what happened in any of his career, really, on that.
But when you have so many career highlights like he's had, you're going to forget.
Oh, handball.
Handball.
Handball, possibly.
It was...
It deflected off the defender's hand.
Ugo Chukwu, who blocked it.
Will they have a look at this?
Well, his arms were by his side, but were they in a natural position?
And he was withdrawing them from the ball when it hit him.
Yeah, I'll forgive him that.
I think they'll go against that, won't they?
Yeah,
but,
I'll forgive him that. Corner, though, for Wolves.
Got suggestions for football flooding in at the moment.
Another corner for... I'll tell you what,
Corners landed in the first half, didn't they?
I can't see Wolves getting to 7 corners, I see. I think they've got 5 or 6. That might be 6 now they've got. They are flying. What about Craig Dawson to score the first goal? When he was in the Championship, he used to make a few quid backing Craig Dawson every week, anytime scorer. If they're going to keep getting set pieces, then he might well get a chance.
Is Craig Dawson the reason you're a very rich man?
No. Chance! What a save! What a save! And then cleared off the line.
This second half has kicked off. This second half has started like a house on fire.
Oh, have they not scored? Is it Sarabia with a header? Far post, he's unmarked, 6 yards out, and he's headed it straight at the keeper. Should be 1-0, mate. Should be 1-0.
Aaron's asking what will happen in the Fenerbahce Galatasaray match, which is away from the Premier League, but we did say you can talk about anything you like to on here. Obviously, that's in Turkey. I guess that's coming up later, as it's not currently in play. But we can have a dig around, see what we can find about Fenerbahce Galatasaray.
Yeah, kicks off at 4 o'clock, I think, our time. So we'll be off air there. It's the top 2, isn't it? What a game this is, by the way. Fenerbahce top, 43 points. Galatasaray second, 43 points. Fenerbahce top on goal difference. And speaking of goals, wow, their last 4 games, 4-1 win, 3-1 win, 4-0 win, 4-3 win. Galatasaray not so good with the goals, and their away record, lost 2 of the last 3 in their Super League campaign. I would imagine you'd be looking at some kind of pro Fenerbahce bet just to the naked eye in that one. I know it's the top 2. Galatasaray.
Slissy says both teams to score for sure in that one, he reckons.
Okay, yeah. Interesting in the head-to-head. Both teams to score would have only landed once in the last 6 head-to-head meetings. So...
we were talking about head-to-heads earlier. Some people swear by head-to-heads. Just kind of, say Chelsea going to Wolves, they haven't won in 20 games, then they've got no chance of winning again. And I don't kind of believe in that, because they're new players, it's a different day, all the rest of it, different approaches, new managers, whatever. But there does seem to be some kind of chemical thing where shot from Chelsea, Conor Gallagher gets charged down. End to end, this is a really good second half so far.
I'd still be playing both teams to score, but I'm very keen on Wolves now.
Here come Wolves flooding forward now. It is end to end. It's really good stuff.
Another corner.
Still goalless. The corners are coming in. This is a Slissy match. It's turning into one for you, Sliss, for Christmas. But Wolves 0, Chelsea 0. Yeah, I just think that some teams just have a mental block at certain grounds against certain teams. They, for some reason, I don't know. Wolves are going to score. Wolves are going to score the opening goal of this football game. Is it going to be Craig Dawson?
He's on the script. Come on, Craig. I never got a price on him. He'll have been massive to score the first goal.
Is it going to be Mr. Craig Dawson up from the back for this set piece? Corner kick to be taken. We've got notification there's a goal coming. I haven't seen it on our screen because our pictures are just a little bit behind. But the corner's coming in now. Headed goal. It's not Craig Dawson, but it is Wolves, and they have gone ahead. Wolves have scored, and they have probably at the start of the second half they've come out like an absolute train.
Lamina it is,
and it is Lamina who has opened the scoring. It's Wolves 1, Chelsea 0. So there we go. We fancied both teams to score. We fancied goals in this game. We've had to wait until the second half. But I'll tell you what now, Mark. Chelsea are going to have to do a little bit more. Wolves have shown what they can do. I don't think this stays 1-0. I'll be really surprised if this stays 1-0.
But what it does do, it plays into Wolves' hands even more because they've been good on the break as it is, and they're going to get more opportunities to play on the break. We put them up, I think they were 4.1, 3.9 they went down to after that good start second half. It's too easy, that. It's a free header. He shouldn't be getting a free header there. Wolves in front.
It's a good header, though. Steered it right into the corner.
It's a great header from his point of view. Yeah. If I'm Pochettino, I'm going, hang on, what's going on here?
Hang on a second, boys. You should be defending that better.
That is poor. The thinking was right about a set-piece goal, and it is 1-0.
Aaron says, I am Turkish and from Galatasaray. And 2 important players from Fenerbahce received red cards as a result of the match. So,
so he's thinking that plays into his team then, is he?
Yeah, so maybe. But I mean, what that might suggest. There's been loads of trouble in Turkey, hasn't there, recently, with the referees getting attacked and all sorts of things going on.
Yeah.
Well, it
was Fred and Yandash who got sent off in their 4-3 win at Kayserispor. Incidentally, both sent off in injury time.
I mean, you'd probably go on the card markets in that match coming up later as well, wouldn't you?
In the Turkey, in the game in Turkey?
Yeah.
Just a few, but where's the line going to be?
Yeah.
It's going to be a high line, isn't
probably.
it, you would imagine?
But as long as it's not too high, I'd probably have a go. Just to go back just before half-time, Viv, you can send me as many pictures of Scarlett Johansson as you like, but that doesn't get you a free bet. Not today, anyway.
It's worth bearing in mind, last 2 meetings between Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, there's been a red card. Both for Fenerbahce as well, by the way.
Chelsea's defence is all over the place at the minute.
It is. My next bet is -1. I think take out Chelsea's 20 minutes at the start of the game and that missed opportunity for Sterling. Wolves have been the better team by quite a distance, I would suggest as well. So I'm going to play -1. I'm going to get the handicap market back up now. Handicap -1, 4.10. I'm in.
Wakinga, I'm going to give you a free bet for this. He says, to prioritise player safety, strong concussion measures must be implemented. This could include required head injury evaluations as well as temporary substitutes for players who are being evaluated. This could help players available to be available more quickly with an absence of 2 or 3 games. I'll tell you what I think as well, Wakinga. They certainly at the big, where they can afford it, at the very big leagues, they should have independent doctors there. An independent doctor should check a player that's got a head injury because your own physio or medical team is biased. If it's a big game, you've got 10 minutes left, it's the whole season's resting on it.
Well, you would argue there shouldn't be because a medical professional has got to make the correct decision.
But a manager wants that player to stay on the pitch.
I get that, and I understand what you're saying. I agree completely with the... is it
Wakinga, yeah.
I watch rugby where you get a lot of head collision. It sickens me when I see players on the football field clash heads and they can barely stand up and they come back on a minute later. I think, you know what? I'm even going to say I think it's disgusting. And I'm with you. I think they should have automatic 15 minutes off. Got to pass the relevant test before you can come back on.
Chance for Chelsea into the area. Oh, he's useless,
wow.
isn't he?
Jackson.
I know he's scoring loads of goals, but he doesn't half make a meal of everything.
Oh, Jackson.
Even the goals he scored, he doesn't look like he's in control of the football half the time.
Wolves have just two defenders have left it for each other. He's running into the area.
He's burst through them well.
He's not even got a shot away.
He's got pace, and he burst through those two defenders well. But yeah, in that situation, he should at least be testing the keeper.
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion, by the way, from the Wikinga there.
Wikinga is.
I think it's something that needs to happen.
Could you give me your username, Wikinga, so I can add you to the list of Santa's good boys this year? And you'll get a present coming down your chimney of 10 USDT from sportsbet.io.
Aye. What's the old weather like where you all are at home? It's
horrible,
windy and raining and horrible here.
Yeah, as I say, not all of you celebrate Christmas out there around the world, but you'll all have seen Christmas cards where you get the snow scenes, the snowmen, and lovely idyllic pictures of houses with country scenes, with everything looking wonderful. At the moment, it could not be more apart from that. It's not idyllic, it's not snowy, it's not beautiful, it is wet, it is windy, it is grey, it is foul, it is horrible. It really is horrible. Genetics has got 4 degrees Celsius, no snow in Canada.
Yeah. 4 degrees, that's all right.
Give me your username, Wikinga, I'll add you to the list. No username, no 10 USDT.
Sounds a bit threatening, that. I'll add you to the list.
The good list.
Okay, all right, okay, okay.
You'll be added to the good list.
Yeah. Wolves 1.63. Look, we did put Wolves as a draw no bet option right at the start of the show. I think they went down to 2.22. Wolves next goal 3.05. Well, here's what I'll ask you the question this time, James. Would you rather bet Wolves to win at 1.64, or would you rather bet draw or Chelsea at 2.20?
I'd probably side with Wolves, even though they're shorter.
Yeah,
I'm seeing more from Wolves. Here comes Nkunku, though. That might be got Mudryk undressing or taking his tracksuit top off, not completely undressing, and Nkunku getting ready. So there's going to be a double change here for Pochettino. And Nkunku in my fantasy team, if he comes on and scores a hat-trick, I'll be delighted.
Yeah. Yeah, we've not seen him really, have we? He came on as a sub, I think, last time, didn't he? He's obviously had that injury problem. Hugo Chukwu, I think it is, who's hobbling off. Looks like he might have done a hamstring or something. He's making his way off.
Nkunku is a player who I think a lot is expected from him. He comes from RB Leipzig, where last season in 25 appearances he scored 20 goals. He scored 31 in 34 appearances the season before, 19 in 28 the season before that, 21 in 32 the season before that. Then he was with PSG prior to that, 13 goals in 22 games in 2018-19 for PSG. So he's a player that's got quite a high scoring rate per appearance. So I think Chelsea, who have been crying out for somebody to put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, it's 4.6 to score any time.
He can play he's also a bit adaptable as well, Nkunku. He doesn't necessarily he can play off a striker, he can play wide, and he can play as a striker. So he's got a little bit of flexibility in where they can put him. But he knows how to find the back of the net, does the lad.
Yeah, he does. He does. So Nkunku in at 4.60. Mudryk 6.60 any time he's just come on now.
Wikinga, I'm going to add you to the good list. Yeah, not going to have as much of a threatening tone to that as I had before. Got told off by Mark.
No, it was just an intriguing. Someone's just tuned in and being told they've been put on the list. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? Yeah. 1.68 both teams to score. Again, we were quite keen on that when it went odds against in the first half. So we're, I think, reasonably decent position at the minute. Bookings over 6.5, 2.18, under 6.5, 1.61. How many have we had? Let me get the stats gizmo open here. There's been a few flying tackles, hasn't there? We've had 3 yellow cards, so 4 or more. I can see Chelsea getting more frustrated as this game wears on. 59 minutes on the clock at the minute.
Loads of messages coming in. I can't give you all 3 bets because we're getting towards the 15. But Ishitin says that he thinks that I don't like this Ishitin, but I think it's a slightly different thing because he says that a player can only make 5 fouls in a football game before they have to leave the pitch. Take red cards out of the way, because as in the NBA, but I think there's so much subjectivity with some of the bookings. You'll see one booking given by one referee and not by another as a foul. You kind of I'm not so keen on that, I have to say.
So what you're saying is you could have one guy gives 5 really petty, soft little fouls away.
Yeah.
And one bloke does a scything tackle and doesn't get sent
Yeah.
off. I don't. Nah, I'm not. That's not for me.
And Gizeslaw says, for VAR, the duration should not exceed 1 minute. However, a check balance type system that also controls.
Could be a penalty. Oh, it's given a free kick
the other way
against Chelsea. Sterling.
Raheem's not happy.
He's not. I think they're going to have another look at
Raheem
this.
doesn't help himself, because he dives and throws himself into the penalty area so often. I don't think referees. Look at him.
Actually, now I've seen it. I think there might have been a little bit of a foul, but Sterling does dive.
He dives all the time. And when you like Raheem and you go off your hind legs all the time and fling yourself around, referees look at it differently, don't they? It's like the boy that cried wolf. The one time he is actually fouled, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, fair point.
So, I don't like that. The duration of the 1 minute, however, a check balance system that also controls the VAR system should be established. A supervisory board consisting of referees can be established, he says. I don't see how, Gizeslaw, on some of these, you can actually keep it to a time constraint. As long as you reach the right decision. What frustrates me is when you see one instance in one match and then the same in the next match, and the two different things are reached.
I think the issue is if it's clear and obvious, you don't need 20 looks at it.
No,
and isn't that the
and that's the point, isn't it?
Because clear and obvious. If you need 20 refereeing games,
if you need 20 looks, then you are re-refereeing. So I tell you what, you just persuaded me that he is right.
I think the idea is right. I think the danger is and I've been in TV trucks, and it's not always, you can't always get the angles you want as soon as you want them. You've sometimes got to wait 20 seconds or so.
That frustrates me a bit, Mark. When you're watching a Premier League match where there's so many cameras in the ground, and you can't get an angle that actually shows it properly, sometimes in here. I mean, we got TVs all over the place, but sometimes in here, the kind of the pitch is almost like from 300 yards away, and you're thinking, just zoom in a bit.
Yeah, I think the worry we're putting a time limit on. You imagine the minute gets up, and then 5 seconds later they come up with the angle that proves actually the decision was completely right or completely wrong, and I think that causes more problems. They need to quicken it up, but that comes down, as we said, if it's clear and obvious, you would know straight away. If you don't know straight away, then don't re-referee the game and go with the man in the middle.
Danger is as well if you're encouraging people to quicken up a decision, they're going to maybe just make it wrong.
Yeah. And also
the pressure's on to make a decision in a minute.
What I would potentially change is Chelsea having a little bit more attacking football here. Chance for a shot from the edge of the area. They recycle it out to Mudryk. Nice little ball in, shot blocked, and keeper didn't get there. Can Chelsea score?
How did that not go in?
I thought that went in.
How did it not?
Cleared off the line. The watch hasn't buzzed. It was tight. That was really tight. Keeper came out to collect a deflected shot, didn't get there. Shot went through 3 Wolves defenders and was cleared off the line, and now Chelsea have got a controversial free kick.
I cannot believe that did not go in. I want to see a replay of this.
Yeah, I do. Just going back to the VAR thing, I think the VAR, by the way, if you went over 6.5 cards, we just had 2 bookings in the last 2 minutes. I think the VAR official, because if you look, here was a replay, does it go in? Oh, that's close, but it doesn't go in, not all the way over.
Doesn't go over.
No, it doesn't.
I'll tell you, some people asking what we're doing this afternoon that are just joining us. Basically, we've got 15 10 times USDT bets to give away. It's Christmas Eve. Rather than have it for over 2.5 goals or both teams to score or anything like that, I'm just basically having a chat with you, or me and Mark are having a chat with you, discussing some of your points, Christmas wishes to make make football, or even cricket, or anything better in 2024. How would you change the game? Lots of talk about VAR, lots of talk about how referees are handling things, but we are giving 10 USDT to any of the good suggestions that come in.
I think they should have the same VAR ref with the same official. And then you build up a relationship. They do that with the linesmen, don't they? They have a team. They're generally a team that go around. Then it builds up trust. If the VAR says to the ref, I think, mate, I think you need to have a look at this, then there's a little bit of trust. There's no chucking each other under a bus or trying to undermine. If you're a team, you want to get it right because you're associated with that decision as a team.
And you also build up that rapport, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That chemistry. It's like doing what we do. we've worked in different places. There's sometimes you kind of sit next to somebody. They're a good broadcaster. They do everything right, but you haven't got quite the same kind of like knockabout ability that you have with somebody that you've worked with a lot.
Yeah, and I think that, there will be an element of trust. Chelsea have got a chance. Sterling must be cleared off the line.
Chelsea
again.
are pushing though, aren't they?
They are.
They are really pushing.
But they're not scoring.
They are not scoring. That is very true.
Draw 3.45.
Viv says, did the weather change in just one day? Gav and Simon were wilding about how they were in T-shirts yesterday, saying the weather feels like summer. Well,
It was very mild yesterday.
There's a lot of talk about being about 15 degrees here, which is mild, but it is rainy, it is grey, and it is windy at the same time. 4 seasons in one day kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gav and Si,
not the best judges.
No.
No. I mean, you know that from what they say on here.
Happy
Christmas to both of them.
Yes. Craig Dawson's hurt his knee, which is a problem, blocking that shot. Both teams score, yes, 1.81. You'd have to say, on what we've seen last 10 minutes, Chelsea have upped it. Certainly, I think the subs have worked. Had one cleared off the line. Chances are building. Anytime goal scorer markets are there. Nicholas Jackson, 4.50. Cole Palmer, 5.60. Raheem Sterling, 5.60. The other way, He Chang Wang even, is 5.80. Will they hit on the break? Tell you what, that ball nearly over the line, but nearly's not enough.
Okay, we've got 3 free bets still to give away. We've given away 12 so far. Genetics Fretless Viv, Slissy Chi, Tars Nua, Thunder Knight, John King, Jaffrey, Pete, Brahi and Wakinga. And we have got 3 still left to give away in the remaining moments of this Christmas Eve broadcast. Trachini says, football was better without VAR. It didn't stop mistakes. VAR must be involved only for offside positions, in my opinion. For example, how it wasn't a penalty, Odegaard's yesterday, and why VAR didn't get involved in that. That is what frustrates me sometimes, is when you see something you think, well, that's surely a handball, and they don't even seem to look at it. Whereas there's another day, there's something you think, oh, that looks like a handball, and they take 10 minutes looking at it. It's almost the same thing. Why are you looking at one under a microscope and not another?
And that is one of the main beefs with VAR, isn't it?
It's like a consistency.
At some, they don't look at others, and I think that's what annoys fans. I think if you ask the person on the street, what's handball in football? You don't know, do you? You don't.
It seems to be anything from kind of there on your shoulder.
Natural angle, unnatural angle, accidental, non-accidental.
It's like the T-shirt line, but I mean that's not your hand. I mean, if somebody hit me there, I wouldn't say, oh, they've hit me on the hand.
No, that's arm ball.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, it's like in cricket. On the glove in cricket, you have the kind of the wristband underneath it, and some of them are quite big. And there's the rule that, because you can be caught off your glove in cricket, but if it comes off any part of the glove, and that can be up to here, if you've got a really long wristband, the art in cricket is to make sure you got a small wristband. But there's got to be some kind of cut off where the hand ends, and at the moment it just seems to go up the entire arm, doesn't it?
It does. Still 1-0.
Because surely the reason handball came in was to stop somebody doing a Maradona
or a Suarez in the World Cup and punching it off the line.
Yeah, or catching it and running away with it and chucking it in the goal like a rugby player.
Yeah,
yeah. That they're all things you do with your hands, aren't they? Not necessarily your arms. So Trachini says better without VAR. I don't know. I don't totally get that, because I think there was all we did prior to VAR was slag off referees in different ways, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you can accept someone making a mistake or getting it wrong in a split second. What you can't understand is the guy gets it wrong or gets it right, and then they spend 5 minutes looking at it, and they still get the wrong decision.
What annoys me as well, Mark, because we see it in here, and you can see the incident, and me and whoever I'm working with will say, that's clearly offside, or that's clearly a handball. You can make the decision in 10 seconds. 5 minutes later, they finally agree with you. And you think, well, we saw that 4.5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So why have you taken that long to look at it?
Craig Dawson, by the way, is coming up. You've not missed anything last 5 minutes.
You've put paid to his chances by putting him up to score, haven't you?
Well, I mentioned him in passing, and he's going off. I mean, this looks quite innocuous. He just blocked the shot, didn't he? Look really innocuous, but it looks like his knee. I mean, this looks quite serious. He's hobbling off. He's going to be helped off the field, the poor lad. So
that looks like something that's going to keep him away from the pitch for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, Bueno, I think it is, who's coming on in his... It is Bueno who's coming on in his place. So change at the back for Wolves. Will that upset them a little bit. Wolves to win or Wolves to win or draw and over 1.5 goals. Oh, go on. What have you seen?
Jesus Law's come in with something very much in my mould.
Go on.
He knows who he's talking to here. Especially in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the match, the players of the winning team throw themselves down with the excuse of cramps at the slightest contact, and sometimes even without contact, and in this way steal 2 or 3 minutes of the game. It is possible to understand that such injuries are fake when the injured player returns to the game within seconds. My suggestion is this. It should be made that a rule that a player who is injured and leaves the game should stay out for at least 3 minutes and receive treatment in order to return to the match. The fourth referee can keep the time. This should not be implemented as a punishment. It should be made as a health rule. Thus, I think that the players who fake injuries in order to avoid having their team play with 10 players for at least 3 minutes will put an end to this behaviour.
Have they not brought that in, or are they not supposed to stay off for 30 seconds?
Well, the referee's supposed to add the time on, isn't he?
Well, but also the question is, if you've got cramp, the referee doesn't have to stop the game. He only has to stop it if it's head injury. Doesn't it?
But they always stop it though, don't they?
Well, they shouldn't do then. The referee should get marked down for that. You shouldn't be stopping it. So if someone's got cramp, that's unlucky.
Yeah.
So
I do. I mean, me and Gav always used to have run-ins on this because I'd be saying, "Oh, get up, man! There's 2 minutes left. You're just wasting time. You're just trying to take time out of the game." And then he springs up to action.
Oh, I agree.
And Gav says, "Well, you don't know he's not injured." I do know he's not injured. He's cheating.
Well, I think there's a lot of common sense in that, and I think they've tried to implement that. I think the way you stop it is you say that if it's a foul, you don't have to leave the field. If it's a foul that makes you injured, if it is you falling over and they eventually have to stop the game or you can't get up and continue, then yeah, you have to go off for a few minutes. I think that would stop it.
Give us your username, Jesus Law. I'm going to get you a 10 USDT free back because you're a man after my own heart. We don't want all these rolling around and stuff.
No.
Jesus Law, see your username and I will get you on the list, on the good list. Other messages are coming in. I'm not just ignoring you. I will come to you shortly, everybody, as Chelsea coming forward. It's played out to the right-hand side. And Jesus Law's username is, strangely enough, Jesus Law. Thank you very much for that. You're on the good list. You're going to get yourself a 10 USDT free bet, Jesus Law.
Good stuff. 18 minutes. There's going to be quite a bit of added on time in this game. Wolves 1.62, the draw 3.25, Chelsea 8. Chelsea have dominated recently, but after that initial flurry of chances, I think that Wolves are doing all right here. I am going to go for the old sucker punch here. I think Wolves on the break are going to nick another goal. 4.30, Wolves to score the next goal.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Koki says, and I should say hello, Koki. Whoa, the Okie Koki is the only person that ever appears that has his own theme music. Koki says he wants the golden goal to come back in extra time and for the offside law to be amended as Arsene Wenger wanted, so that we can see many goals and great fun. What was Arsene Wenger's suggestion for the offside rule?
Wasn't it? There's got to be a gap between the defender and the attacker.
That's not a bad.
So if your shoulders in front, don't matter, carry on. There's got to be. You can look down the line and see a gap between the two.
I don't dislike that.
But then, no, you go. One guy's stretching his leg. The defender's got his leg stretched out. The attacker's got his leg stretched back. There could be like 2 yards between them, but their legs are overcrossing.
Well, that's the thing, because defenders are going that way with the body going forwards, and the striker's going that way with his body. So you kind of, you can be quite a long way apart, can't you?
Yeah, but I think there's mileage in that. If there's no clean air,
you're added to the good list, Koki.
Yeah.
Just one left. Just one free bet left of this pre-Christmas period. So I will. I'll have a trawl through, see if I can find anybody else. I'm sure I've missed somebody.
So we've got a prime example here. Has he? He might have given a free kick. The referee. I'm going to say Hwang's gone down like he's fatally injured, and just a foot in from Gallagher. Yeah. He didn't initially point as though he'd given a free kick, but he has. So I understand why he stopped the game.
Ishitin, I saw your message, and I don't totally agree with this. He says it is wrong that referees stop giving clear fouls to renowned players or fouls that merit cards, and the referee does not do his job. So I think he's saying. I mean, I suppose it's a little bit like I was saying about
the Sterling thing.
A little bit like me saying Sterling always dies, so he doesn't get the decisions, and you'll get like a Vinnie Jones style player will always get yellow carded for a big tackle.
You've got to bear it in mind, right? How many times has a referee, in all honesty, a split second go, I'm not in his mind. I'm not sure about that, but history tells me that guy always dives.
Yeah.
Or history tells me actually that guy always stays on his feet. So I'm assuming he's been fouled here.
I mean, there's a reason
that will have a bearing in it.
There's a reason Gary Lineker didn't get booked into his entire career. Because he'll have done something naughty in his career.
Yeah.
And the referee will think, it's Gary Lineker, he doesn't do anything nasty.
Fair point.
Or
Big
a shot
chance.
comes in from Wolves.
Big chance.
Side netting, I think, on that occasion. So,
It was.
Ishitin, you're going to take the final free bet of this Christmas Eve show. Ishitin, can you give me your sportsbet.io username, please, on the Clubhouse chat, and I will add you to the list. So, thank you, everybody, for your discussions this afternoon. It's been fun, actually, hearing what you've got to say about how you changed the game and what have you. And some good ones, maybe some not quite so good ones. But some good suggestions and some good talking points as we've gone through. Wolves against Chelsea, but Wolves 1, Chelsea 0. I'm going to ask you this one last time, pre-Christmas, your best bet for the last 15 minutes of this game.
I am going with the value, and I am going with another goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think they score the next goal here. This is a big price play. It's 4.70. Chelsea are getting desperate. Wolves are great on the break. I think they're going to hit them on the break. I think Wolves' second goal live, 4.70. It's an outside chance. I've done my Christmas shopping, so I've no need for any money this afternoon. I can have a little bet on that.
Good. Mishitin, you don't need to give me your ears now because you did actually put it next to your message. So I've got all 15. So the 15 winners this afternoon for on the Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io broadcast. Genetics for Atlas, Viv, Slissy Chi, Taz Noah, Thunder Knight, John King, Jaffrey, Pete, Brahi, Wakinga, Jesus Lord, Koki and Ishitin. Your names are being sent off right now, and you'll get yourselves 10 USDT as soon as we can humanly add them to your account. So thank you for all of your messages. Keep them coming because we haven't finished yet, but all of the free bets have been used up. Happy Christmas, gamble responsibly, and whether you celebrate Christmas or not, have some fun over the next few days. Christmas Eve on Clubhouse TV. Back on Boxing Day, everybody. Here for 10 hours on Boxing Day.
Yeah, you love it. You love it. I'll tell you what, though, it has been good, hasn't it? Getting all the interaction from people watching and listening along at home is that we all clearly love the game. We all want it to be a little bit better, don't we?
Yeah.
But we've a lot of similar ideas. And you know what? A lot of common sense ideas that won't... They're not world-changing, are they? But they would make the game a little bit better. So it is interesting that...
And I'll tell you what as well. This is what... We got people messaging us and watching from all over the world. You know, Canada to where... You know, Asia to India to wherever, Africa, everywhere. And it kind of... Sport brings us all together, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We're one
brilliant.
big, we might have different religions, we might eat different foods, we might enjoy different things, but sport is the one common factor that we can all either agree on or argue about.
Yeah, not discuss, I would say,
Debate.
Yeah, exactly. Discuss and debate, and we'll all have different opinions on it. Some of us will be right, some of us will be wrong. Chelsea are attacking again here, but they're not quite doing enough, James, are they?
Yeah.
They're not quite doing enough. I think there's another goal in the game. Look, if you've just turned on, you're thinking, I fancy a little punt on the rest of this game, then, over 1.5 goals potentially. I really couldn't put anybody off that. I think that would be a way that I'd be going in. I'd also as well, over 7.5 bookings is now 1.57. Now we have had 6. I think we'll get 2 yellow cards in the closing series. And Maurizio Pochettino here is about to empty his bench. He now needs changes. I think Badiashili's coming on. Is that Ian Maatsen coming on? It is, isn't it? That Maatsen's coming on. And who's the other one that's just at the back there?
I think it is. Let's have a look at their bench.
Is it
Madueke?
Yeah.
He's kind of the pacey winger, isn't he?
Yeah.
Viv says, I also have one suggestion. Viv's already won, so this is just a supplementary suggestion. I also have one suggestion. Glazers should sell Me United for $1 so I can destroy it completely. They are even incompetent in doing that. Manchester United are in a mess, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that news that came out yesterday, was it yesterday, the day before, about they got rated 1 on their food hygiene thing. That that to me is symptomatic of a club that is basically not really concentrating on what he's supposed to be there for.
I just think I think those are the types of things that get out when people aren't happy at the club.
Yeah.
And they are struggling. You know what? I mean, how long did they have to wait? They had to wait 20 odd years, didn't they, to win the title again, or whatever, 30 odd years to win the top flight title. Here's one for you, right?
Yeah.
This is one for the listeners then. When do Manchester United next win the Premier League? You won't be in a rush to back them in the next few years.
Nobody's got a divine right to win, have they?
They don't, mate. They don't. They are so far down the pecking order now. They're going to have a clear out. We've seen it happen to Liverpool. Dominated English football in the 80s, and then all of a sudden they didn't win it for 30 years. When do they next win it?
I was saying to Dave Easton the other night on here, I used to hate Liverpool when I was young because they won everything, and it really drove me mad.
Yeah.
I was thinking, but then they went ages without doing a thing at all. Gerrard slipping up and all the rest of it, and then finally managed to get there. But
sport is cyclical, isn't it? You'll have periods where you'll dominate. But one for the listeners then, when would you, if you had to have a bet on when they next win the league, what year would you say? I am going to say now, confidently, they don't win it in the next 5 years. No chance.
I don't think I disagree with that. I think we're looking in the, 2024 soon, aren't we?
Yeah.
I reckon we're looking in the 2030 and beyond.
Oh, yeah. So here you go then. If you had to, obviously Manchester City, we know, are a dominant force in English football. Will Arsenal win the Premier League before Manchester United?
Arsenal could win it this season, couldn't they?
They could do. Will Liverpool win it before them?
They could win it this season.
Will Newcastle win it, given their riches?
You would back Newcastle above Man United, wouldn't you? Yeah. Genetics says 2034.
So 10 years, basically. 10 seasons. You know what? As a starting point, I'd be nearer 10 than 5.
Where was it when Fergie actually left? They've been about a decade since he's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because somebody shared a quote from David Moyes yesterday, which was a silly quote. It was something like, we need to get better at passing, defending and scoring, or something like that, which is kind of like the fundamentals of the game, really, isn't it? But that was, I think, about 10 years ago when David Moyes was at the club. So they've had a decade of obscurity, really. By
left in 2013, yeah. So this is the 11th season. And they've not won it, and they've not looked like winning it. I think I might have to revise that 10-year thing.
Yeah, here's that quote from Viv. He says, David Moyes says, this was in, what's the date on this? 2013, this is when David Moyes said this. David Moyes says, MUFC must improve in a number of areas, including passing, creating chances and defending. It's fairly fundamental.
Other than that, we're playing pretty well.
Yeah, other than that, we're perfect.
Yeah.
Here come Chelsea. Can they? No, not on that occasion. That's going to be another corner, though. Slissy, this is a corner fest.
It is.
And
chances at both ends as well, by the way. Here.
You know, that's that suggestion that Viv made about the Glazers selling him United for $1 so he could destroy it.
I'd give him $2 for it. Do I get it?
He says he's going to make a documentary and force Simon Bowler to then watch it. That's Viv being mischievous on Christmas Eve.
Lifelong, isn't he? Lifelong red. Yeah. Simon.
Right. He said to me the other day, he said he doesn't want Ten Hag to go. He wants. He thinks.
I don't think the manager's the problem. Yeah. I really don't. Although interestingly, I've a Dutch friend of mine. When I asked him about Ten Hag, he said before he got the United, he said he thinks he'll struggle at Manchester United. Doesn't think he has the personality, but they need a huge turnaround.
He's quite robotic, isn't he?
Yeah, I think they need a huge turnover in the playing squad, and that's the problem. And as we know now, under financial fair play, they're going to have to sell. Yeah. Oh, by the way, look, was he offside here, Hwang? From the not a goal kick, but a kick out of the goal. It wasn't a dead ball kick, so he couldn't have been offside then. But kick out of the hands, I thought it was just onside there. I thought he was in his own half when he kicked it, but obviously not.
Trouble is with Man United, they have sold and brought players in, but they just keep buying naff ones, don't they?
Who have they sold for any money? They haven't sold that many, have they?
But I mean,
the problem they've got, all the players they've brought in for big money, they will lose a lot of money, so they can't sell them.
But Anthony's not worth the money they paid for him.
Nope.
For a start off.
Nope.
I mean, Casemiro's a half-decent player.
Yeah.
I think Højlund can be.
Yeah.
When he gets a little bit more confidence. But there's not many other good ones you can think of that they brought in. Martial's been there for seemingly about 15 years taking money out the club without actually really.
Well, you can't blame the player for getting paid, can you? Let's.
It was the Chelsea guy going back quite a while now, a Chelsea defender he was a left back, I think, who basically never played for the first team. They were paying him something like about £200,000 a week, and he refused to leave.
Why should he? They offered him a contract.
I've got my contract. I'm seeing my contract out because you pay me a fortune. I'm having to do nothing for it, and I'm quite happy. There was a lot of debate on stuff at the time about surely as a footballer you'd want to go somewhere else, maybe get paid a little bit less, but at least be playing. But he didn't move. He must have moved on in the end because he's not still there. But,
no, I'm just looking down. Martial, we understand he's going to leave the club. Sancho, paid a lot of money for him. Won't apologise, can't get in the team. Marcus Rashford.
How would you deal with that the same way the Sancho thing? Sancho, I mean, I've heard that Sancho's a little bit lackadaisical, a little bit lazy, maybe a bit disrespectful.
So, all right. So why did they sign him? Because they had him before. So why did they sign him? Why have they not done the homework? Yeah. Why did they sign him?
Doesn't always turn up on time. All that
why
kind
did
of
they
stuff.
sign him?
But how do you actually deal with somebody like that?
How much did they pay for him? 90 million?
A lot of money.
90 million for him, 80 million for Anthony. Neither any good.
But I don't know if just kind of saying clear off, I'm not talking to you anymore, is the right way to deal with a player.
But I'm not saying it is. But why would you spend 90 million pounds on a player that you know has got a problem?
When in the sports teams I've worked in, the coaching stuff is common thread was. We don't just buy players on talent. Obviously, you buy players because you want them to score runs. I mean, I've worked in cricket, score runs, take wickets. But we want players that we know their character and their whatever will fit into our culture.
Doing your due diligence, isn't it, James? Could be a chance here for Wolves to kill it off. Another corner.
Slissy's going mad.
I just look at their recruitment is abysmal. Van der Beek paid a lot of money for him, never plays.
Yeah,
Mason Mount being injured. You can't help being injured. I'll go for that
Van
one.
der Beek, apparently, I mean, I've not seen enough of him to make a judgment, but he came from Ajax, didn't he, with a massive reputation of being a good midfielder.
Can't get in the team. Yeah,
he's leaving, isn't he? I think he's certainly on loan somewhere.
Yeah, but their recruitment has been abysmal, and that is going to take 5 years plus to turn around.
And the thing is, their reputation's been damaged as a result of this last decade, isn't it? Whereas when Fergie was there, they could probably signed anybody. Because they'd have gone, to work with Alex Ferguson at a club that's winning everything. Mbappe would have been queuing up to take a job there, etc. You go to Mbappe now and say, come and join Manchester United, he'd probably just laugh, wouldn't he? I don't want to play for that team.
Depends how big the wage was.
Well, true.
Still 1-0. Wolves 1.3
that does
to
make
win.
A difference, doesn't it?
Draw 4.10. Chelsea 30. 30.
I don't know if I'd play for them, regardless of what they offered me. Leeds fan.
Oh, come on. 90,000 a week. A little bit less than you get working.
Make it 95. I'm there. Old Trafford tomorrow. I'll even work
kissing the badge.
I'll even work Christmas Day.
Yeah, kissing the badge. Chelsea huffing and puffing here.
Second
goal live. Chelsea 3.35.
They've had the chances. It's ricocheted around inside that 6-yard box on more than one occasion, but hasn't quite settled for anybody.
Oh, look at that. Can't even keep the ball. I'm still going to say there's another goal in this game. Over 1.5 is 2.40. Bear in mind, there was a lengthy delay when Craig Dawson got injured.
Yes,
so I would imagine at least 5. At least 5 added on.
My Chelsea players today are not making me any points. 3 players that are playing for Chelsea are doing absolutely naff all. Palmer being one of them. He's not really seen too much of him, have we?
No, we haven't. You wouldn't. Being honest, you wouldn't have known who was playing today.
No.
Wolves have done a job here. This is another one where this fixture favours the home team.
Well, Wolves, a lot of people at the start of this season were saying, Wolves going to struggle this year? On the basis of we're going to give them 3 points for this, assuming they did, they'd be in 11th place at Christmas. 22 points. They'll be 5 behind. Both Chelsea and Wolves will be 5 behind Brighton in 9th, so there is a little bit of a gap there. But they'll be level on points with Chelsea, Wolves and Bournemouth, all 3 of those teams, 10th, 11th and 12th. You'd say that's
I'm pleased for the manager, really, the way he got bombed out.
You'd say in 11th they're in decent shape when you go into the new year.
Well, look, they've had some great wins, haven't they? I mean, that's the big thing. You look at where some of their wins have come from. They've beaten Spurs. They went to Bournemouth and won. They beat Man City at home. They're doing okay.
Yeah,
they're doing okay. I'm pleased for Gary O'Neill, but they've got to see the job out here because they might get chinned late on. Chelsea, can they nick a late goal? you'd have to say the keeper. All right, there was that big clearance off the line, wasn't there? That was inches away from a goal, but I don't remember the keeper doing an awful lot.
No. We're going to get some. You're right, though. We're going to get some added time.
I'd say I would go if it's less than 6. I'd be disappointed if I was. I'll tell you what, the keeper had a lot to do. It was a good
11
job.
minutes. It's 11 minutes of added time coming.
Yeah. Well,
so make yourselves comfy, everybody. We got another 10 minutes of this. So do we get another goal? That changes the way you could bet, because obviously if you're thinking, it might be just 3 or 4, I'm going to pack in, you might give up. But another goal in the game with 11 minutes of added time to come is 1.88.
Yeah. Look, I wouldn't. I mean, that's gone down, obviously, given the amount of time we've got added on. I think there's a late twist here. I don't know which. I mean, look, what's the keeper doing there, by the way?
Not a lot, was he?
He looked like Superman, didn't he?
He just kind of waved it past him, didn't he? His hands were miles apart.
That's like the last time I saw an effort like that was me in the slips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my hands to it, but never looked like catching
Straight
it.
through.
Bit like the Wolves goalkeeper there. Terrible.
And you didn't have gloves on.
No.
Slissy confirms 11 minutes of added time. Do we get more corners, Slissy? I mean, it's been your sort of 16 corners in this game.
Would you back the draw at 4.70 if you're watching it now? Because as much as I said I think Wolves on the break could nick another goal, it is attack versus defence now, isn't it?
Yes.
4.70 the draw.
Wolves have settled for 1-0, haven't they, here?
Well, I think Wolves have settled for 1-0, but if they get the chance, they'll bomb on. But they're getting further and further back, and they're inviting Chelsea on. Will they be made to pay? We will see.
Just looking at the corners market.
Madueke shot wide.
We've had
Rubbish.
16 corners. At the moment, you can get... is that right, 16? I need to refresh my screen on the markets then, because my markets are behind.
No, I've got 16 on mine.
Yeah. So total corners, over 17 corners is 1.75. So you need 2 for that to come in. Get 1 corner, you get your stake back. Over 17 and a half, so 2 more corners in full is 2.5. So
I think that's a good bet.
2 corners in 10 minutes, basically.
Yeah. I think that's a good play. I'd play it. Happily play it.
So Pochettino looking, greyed out. Why are we greyed out? What's coming around the corner here? It's a goal for Wolves that's coming. Wolves are going to make it 2-0. Pochettino was looking a bit grim on the sidelines a second ago. He's going to look pretty grim going into his Christmas dinner, because Wolves are about to score a second, Mark Wilson.
Well, we're just pictures are catching up here, but we did say next goal Wolves. We said there'd be another goal in the game. I couldn't miss. Beautiful finish, by the way. Really tidy finish, and it is 2-0. It was Hwang who set it up.
Matt Doherty, wasn't it?
I think it is Matt Doherty who scored it. Lovely finish, though, didn't he? Almost give the keeper the eyes and sent him the wrong way.
Just a nice silky little right-footed effort, and 2-0. That's Chelsea down and out. They might have, what we've got left, we've got about 8 minutes left. It's Wolves 2, Chelsea 0. Pochettino not looking happy. And this is the problem for Chelsea. They have...
What, that they're rubbish?
Well, they're not good, are they? That's another way of putting it. I mean, you said to me at the start, can you trust Chelsea? You can't,
you can't, mate. We called... Look, the initial bet was draw no bet Wolves at odds against. We put Wolves up at half-time at a big price, 4.10. We put them up to score the next goal again. You can't have Chelsea. I can't have them given, mate.
What's the defender doing there, though? He's running past the ball, allows it to hit him on the back of the heel, sets up Doherty beautifully.
Well, why has he not just hit his right foot, Badashile, and just knocked it out, or tried to clear it upfield?
We've had enough corners here. We could just have knocked it behind, couldn't we?
You could have knocked it out for a throw-in, James. Come on. 2-0, big win for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Remember that 6.00 for Chelsea to finish in the bottom half?
Yeah.
They are in the top half on goal difference only. The only worry you'd have about that, well, I'm not sure it is a worry. Next 3 or 4 games, teams below them. So surely should pick up some points, but maybe should have picked up something today. They don't look like it.
Chelsea of old, going back a few seasons under Mourinho when they were doing really well.
This is like the Man U chat, James. They used to be good, but they aren't anymore.
They were the rocked up to Wolves and thought this was 3 points in the back pocket. Today, they've not really... I mean, they've had some moments in this match, but not enough to score goal.
They've had one shot cleared off the line of any note. They've had all the ball, and this is a common complaint about Chelsea, and this is the stick that Ange Postecoglou got at Spurs. When they went 2 men down, if they'd have just sat in like Wolves have done, they wouldn't have lost the game.
No.
But because they went all gung-ho trying to win it, well, Wolves have just sat in and gone, well, go on then, what have you got? And they haven't been able to break them down. I think sitting against this mob and happy days.
Chelsea dead, says Koki. Game over, says Viv. Wow, 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 says Koki. So a goal for Wolves, confirms Shelby. Yes, indeed. 2-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we've got about 6 minutes left before Christmas, everybody. And we will say goodbye to you then and wish you well. And I'll see you again on Boxing Day. And Chelsea are going to get over 2.5. Would have landed if we'd done the free bet.
Have we written them off too early? There's loads of time left.
Chelsea are about to score. Come on, make it be Cole Palmer. Make it be Nkunku. One of my boys.
Self.
It is. It's all about me. Come on. Where are you, Nkunku? Where's this goal coming from? Taking an age to score it.
Our pictures are a little bit behind.
Goal Chelsea confirms genetics. Wow, says Koki. He's enjoying this.
Header. Who on earth is doing the defending there? That is abysmal.
Nkunku! Hey!
There was nobody near him.
Nkunku scores his first goal for Chelsea, and it's Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. That's why I put him in my fantasy team.
Oh, what? That defending is absolutely dreadful. The draw's 7.40. I wouldn't be backing it.
That's a good header, though.
But there's three different. Why is the guy stood behind him not going, who's marking? Oh, that's my man. Oh, he's just scored. Yeah, rubbish.
It's a training ground header because he's just basically getting somebody to cross it and he's heading it in. But what an ending, says genetics. So if we'd played the over 2.5, we would have landed it right now. But we've already done the free bets today because we've had a little chat, haven't we, today? An end of term kind of feel today as we watch the final game before Christmas. And it's turned out to be quite a good one, hasn't it? I mean, it's been, even when the goals weren't going in, it was a good game. End to end, there were discussion points. But we've had 3 goals now. Wolves 2, Chelsea 1.
Max Kilman, terrible defending leading up to that goal. And, should have seen... You defend your area, and he's just stood looking at it. You can see the numbers on the back of his shirt. You can see there's no one within 5 yards of him, and he's not gone. And that would have been a header. He would have won 99 out of 100 if he'd been stood anywhere near him. Stood 3 yards behind him, and it's a goal.
So
there might be another goal in this.
Chelsea have just given Wolves a little bit of...
made it a bit awkward, haven't they? Made it a bit awkward.
A little bit of a squeaky bum for the last 5 minutes kind of thing. Told you, Mark, he's a gold magnet, says Viv.
Yeah, you see? Yeah. Bring me out now and again.
Yeah, get Mark Wilson in the building and all of a sudden the goals go flying in.
Yeah, well, 2-1.
You're going to come back in on Boxing Day?
I'm actually at Newcastle on Boxing Day, my friend, so I'll give you a wave out of the press area. When they come out of the tunnel, you might just see me.
Wear your Clubhouse TV T-shirt. And
give me
might
one.
Get goals.
I can't wear it. I would have worn one if you'd have given me one, but...
Might be a bit too cold for just a T-shirt up in Newcastle.
Oh, I don't know. Someone would have worn it for you, I'm sure.
Free bet landed again, says G.
Yeah.
Actually, we've had a couple of bad days for the free bets, haven't we? So that's why I chose to go down the route where we guaranteed you it today, because it's Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas, as Slade would say. So
quite a good impression, that.
Yeah. Oh, good singer, Mark. Very good singer.
I wonder how much money they've made out of that song.
Oh, that's all you need to do. There's a couple of there's a Hugh Grant film, isn't there, where his dad wrote a Christmas hit single, and he's basically living off the royalties because he doesn't have to do anything. Because once a year, the Christmas song is played all over the radio, gets downloaded everywhere, and he basically makes a fortune. Here come Chelsea. Can they just get back into this one right at the end? 2-0 in added time. 2-1 now as Mudryk has the ball on the left-hand side. I did see it. I mean, it's a bit like when you see those articles where it says such and such is worth so many million. You kind of read it with a pinch of salt. But I think Noddy Holder of Slade, who've had a couple of Christmas hits, he makes an absolute fortune.
Apparently, I mean, I've just done a quick Google search, and the local newspaper to Noddy Holder has said it's worth over £500,000 a year.
Yeah. That's all right, isn't it?
That's 10 grand a week. That's 10 grand a week.
Just for a song that you wrote, 40 years ago? How long ago was it? It was ages ago, wasn't it? And he's been getting that every year for 40 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah. Wow.
Because that would have been 70s, wouldn't it? I would think.
1973, number one. So that is 50 years.
50 years. No wonder he's got a smile on his face, noddy older.
Yeah.
It's like one song and you basically live off it forever. That's the dream, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. Raheem Sterling banned for the next game. He got booked.
Oh, that's convenient. Happy Christmas, Raheem. Enjoy yourself on Boxing Day. I was watching the overlap, Gary Neville and Carragher and all that lot, having a chat at Roy Keane, and they were talking about people missing, getting booked on purpose for Christmas. And they said, not mentioning any names, but it did happen. The same people always seem to miss Christmas.
Yeah. I know a few former footballers that have been spotted in the pub on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
After a
And then
slightly dubious booking the week before.
Somebody asked them, but you...
Oh, look, cards, by the way. A couple of yellow cards in added on time.
You've still got to go to the game on Boxing Day, haven't you? So
Well, you don't always have to, do you now? I mean, they've got Chelsea, they've got that many players, they can't all get on the bus.
The stadium's not big enough.
So, genuinely, they don't, do they? They don't all go. They don't have to go.
The answer was, even if you do, you don't have to be in a fit state to play there, do you? So you can overindulge on Boxing Day and just sit in the stand and pretend you're applauding. Well, referee's getting really busy. It is Christmas. He's giving cards out left, right and centre.
He is.
So that was somebody in the bench, wasn't it, that got the last one? It's Newcastle, James. You can go topless. Are you going to go topless up in the North East, Mark? Viz suggested?
No. No. Sadly not.
You probably need a body full of tattoos to do that. You got any tattoos?
Yeah, I've got one, yeah.
I was going to ask you the obvious question, but I'm not going to.
No, it's on my shoulder. It's the name of my children. So there you go. It's quite, in terms of tattoos, it is one actually does mean something.
Yeah.
All right.
Did we get a goal? We're into the
12th minute of 11.
Yeah. Jackson, he's playing better. Always gets he's a play betting. He always gets a booking, says Koki. There's a few like that, Koki, aren't there? There's what's his face, Romero for Spurs, just a walking yellow card.
Yeah.
But we're nearly there, everybody. We're nearly there. Santi, you can get yourself ready because it is Christmas Eve and the last match of the Premier League before Christmas is about to reach its completion. In fact, there it is. No. Not the final whistle just yet. It's Gary O'Neill just telling his dugout, his coaching staff, just stand back and get out of the way a little bit.
Do you think Pochettino will be the manager at the end of the season?
If I was Chelsea, he would be, because I think he's a decent manager, and I think it's more than a season's job to get that team sorted out. So if you're seeing the bigger picture, yes. If you're looking for a quick fix, then probably not. Here come Wolves. Look, are they going to get a third?
Oh. Wang! Oh, he's falling over the ball.
They're all falling over.
Oh, he fell over the ball on the penalty spot. It would have been 3-1.
It's finished. It is finished. Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Good game, that, Mark, in the end,
exciting, wasn't it? Exciting. I think we've come out on the right end of it as well. We're pretty pleased about that.
Well, thank you for joining me here, Mark, on Christmas Eve. It's been a pleasure to see you. We'll see you again, I'm sure, next year at some stage. And so happy Christmas to you. Happy New Year to you. And the same to you out there, Clubhouse creatures. Enjoy yourselves tomorrow. If you're celebrating Christmas and with your family or not, then hopefully you have a fantastic time. If you don't celebrate Christmas, we hope you have a good day too. So happy Christmas to all of you out there. Thanks for watching Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. As we've gone through 2023, we'll be back on Boxing Day. You'll see my little face then. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy Christmas, everybody. Cheers all.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. This is Clubhouse TV.